And joining me, one-time Kings assistant, one-time Wilkes assistant. Welcome back to the Mayor's Cup, Jan Seachak. And new era coming, not underneath the lights on a beautiful night. Two new coaches, Dave Beaver at Wilkes, Mike Zabrowski at Kings.
It's nice to see local guys, Zabrowski from Lehighton, Beavers from Hazleton, getting their shot at being head coaches for the closest rivalry in the country, separated by one block.
Yep, not USC, not UCLA.
No.
It's these two right here, and it will take place again tonight. Let's talk about the Colonels. They started out the year, losing in the last seconds to Kings. That led to an 0-4 start, but they came back. They won their bowl game. They're looking for big things. They have 29 seniors on the team, including Elijah Jules.
Elijah Jules, 5'6", 170-pound running back from Red Bank, New Jersey, a business major. Only had 866 yards last year, and I say only because they are a high-powered passing team. He is a spark plug, and Coach just loves his dynamite he brings and the juice he brings to the team.
Well, last year at this time, Russell Minor-Shaw was getting his first start ever, and boy, what a start it was. 270-some yards in that game, a comeback win for the Monarchs. He went on to win MAC Offensive Player of the Year, and he's back again tonight.
He really is, and he went for over 1,900 yards throwing, 21 touchdowns, over 800 yards rushing, and 10 more touchdowns. And he's got all the accolades, and he really is well-deserved it. And one thing Coach said is he's really matured at the quarterback spot in terms of understanding the offense. It doesn't have to come down to him to make every single play.
Well, we talked to both coaches on Thursday. They gave us some keys to the game. Let's go to the visitors first from Wilkes.
Well, Wilkes, they want to get that team spirit together. Coach, he preaches the family and how they want everything to be. So team. And then he wants to be able to weather the storm. Not the rain that we had earlier today, but he wants to be able to make sure his team can hit the highs and the lows and maintain the course of the ship. And with Kings, again, Coach really is worried about fumbles. He wants to make sure that they play mistake-free football all night. And that's really tough, especially with the crosstown rivalry that these two have.
Well, Jake Sarwell will be on the sidelines tonight doing some great interviews underneath the tent, and we are all set. Both teams are ready. It's the 20th Annual Mayor's Cup. Who takes home the trophy tonight? Will it be Wilkes or Kings? The kickoff is next.
You're watching the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup, sponsored by Wilkes-University and King's College.
Welcome back to what has turned out to be a beautiful evening for college football. Both teams getting set to kick off their 2024 season. As you can see, the captain's on the middle of the field, and it looks like Wilkes won the toss. They deferred, so Kings will get the ball. Wilkes in the white uniforms with the blue and gold trim, and there you can see Kings in the red uniforms with the golden helmets. All set to go for the 2024 Mayor's Cup 28th Annual. And remember last year, 27-23, Kings won this game in dramatic fashion. Both teams are lined up, and we are set for today's national anthem as we have a nice crowd on here at McCarthy Stadium. Here are today's referees. Robert Rodelli will wear the white hat. Shannon Jones, Vincenzo Tranquillo, Stephen Dangle, Andre Frazier, Adam Wentworth, and Frank Tolbert are your referees for this matchup between the MAC and the Landmark Conference. Third member of our crew, we welcome in from the Fox 56 News First at 10, Jake Sarwar. And Jake, real exciting because we're underneath the lights as soon as the sun goes down.
Yeah, Bob, you're completely right. Happy Mayor's Cup, like you're saying, for this 28th annual. This has a historic place here in downtown Wilkes-Barre. You were just mentioning we're going to be under the lights. Now, the sun is going down. The rain has moved out, so that's the good part about this. I can already see some of the stadium lights behind me turning on. It'll be the first time that Kings is hosting a game under the lights since 2019 here on their field. Now, earlier I had a chance to talk to some fans from both sides. Of course, Wilkes fans are saying that they're really looking forward to being back here to make sure that they try to take home that Mayor's Cup. And, of course, everybody from Kings just wants to keep that title. And I will say there also has been a little bit of trash talking here and there as well, too, throughout even just the beginning of this. I mean, we just had the national anthem, right? The game hasn't even started. A little bit of trash talking, so it might be a little bit of a lively night here. But for now, guys, I'm going to send it back up to you.
Bragging rights of the city of Wilkes-Barre, and the blocks just getting smaller and smaller. We talked about how close these teams are and schools are, and they're shrinking, and that's good for Wilkes-Barre, and it's great for a rivalry.
It really is. And these two teams, when I used to coach for both schools, it's like this week was just so intense. The kids are really focused, and here we go.
Kick is up and away and taken by Kings. Up quickly. They'll have good field position. Trevor Gleason brings it up, number 13. So we'll see Russell Minor-Shaw. We talked about him, the spotlight player, coach, but he is Mr. Everything. As he goes today, you think the Monarchs go as well.
Oh, absolutely. Last year we saw his coming out in that fourth quarter to get that win for the Monarchs. I mean, he just drove them down to complete control, and Coach just said how he is just such a student of the game, and he's really understanding the game so much more.
Well, against these Colonels last year, 29 of 43, 260 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Most of that was in the second half. Let's see if that continues over to this season. They line up in the shotgun, and they'll hand it off. Big run. The offensive line with a huge push. And moving up forward was Brennan Robinson, the 5'9" senior from Radnor.
And again, there's a little connection there. That's where Russell Minor-Shaw is from. They just went with the inside zone on this, on the RPO. Great job. Look at how the linebackers got to the second level trying to get that going.
Same play handoff to Robinson, who had 297 yards and 3 touchdowns last year on 48 carries. And they'll bring it up for about a 3-yard gain. A lot of experience on both sides. We mentioned 29 returners on Wilkes, 22 returning for Kings. So that's why I'm excited about this game. These guys know this rivalry. They played football before. For a lot of them, it's their last game. Could be their last game ever. We have a first flag of the evening. Looks like it's going to go against Kings, but Coach Zabrowski's out on the field already wondering the same thing, so they're going to try to figure this one out.
Yes.
Robert Ridorelli.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 25 red, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Well, emotions run high in this game, we know, but you have to control them.
You really do, and that's one of the keys to the game. They said, you'll see, here's the replay. You'll see that coming in there. Right there was, I think, what they were
25.
calling it on. Yep. He just came in and, again, unnecessary. But, again, these men, they have the emotions, especially this week. It's that critical to them because it is for all these seniors. It's their last Mayor's Cup.
So the ball back on the 22-yard line gives Kings now second and long. Let's see if Shaw goes to the air for the first time. Nope, a little delay handoff. Robinson bounces outside, switches the ball in the other hand. He's got a first down and more down the sidelines in Colonel territory, and he's all the way up to the 45-yard line. 33-yard gain for Robinson.
Brennan Robinson, 5'9", 175-pound senior. Look at the burst of speed right there. Great coaching that he switched the ball to the outside arm to make sure that if he does get hit, the ball will go out of bounds.
So, first time inside Wilkes territory are the Kings College Monarchs. They'll come up quickly. Shaw to the air. That's complete to Tony Brinson. And a chance now to check out the Kings College starters. Shaw, Robinson, we've already called their names. This is where it gets tricky. We have DiGregorio, Brinson, Schneider, and McCombs. And then up front, Coach, talk about what we see from these big guys.
Big guys. They average 293 pounds across the board. 6'4", 275 is Carroll. Monaco, 285. The center, 290. We'll get this play, and we'll continue talking about the big guys.
Robinson, protection, has time. He likes to run, but instead he finds the receiver. Brinson on the move. Down inside the red zone, knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. And first and goal for Kings College. Brinson getting the start over Tyler Carey, the leading receiver from last year. Got hurt at the end of practice this week, and he's out all year with an ACL injury. But when you have a guy to replace him like that, it's pretty good depth.
That's a really nice depth that they have on this team. And that's the experience and the veteran ownership that the Kings and both Wilkes have with all those seniors.
36-yard gain on the last play. Back out quickly to McCombs, the hero from a year ago who caught the winning touchdown. Changed numbers now. He's number 7. But Kings knocking on the door against his very good defense from Wilkes.
You'll see the replay right there. Just a quick out for him. Tight end, that's a great play, especially in the red zone like that, because the linebackers are dropping. They didn't really respect him too much right there as a tight end.
Wilkes last year gave up 25 points per game. They had 23 sacks and 68 tackles for a loss throughout the season. Fake. Shaw with the move. Touchdown Monarchs on the opening drive.
Russell Shaw, is 6'1", 225 pounds, folks. He's a large, young quarterback, does a great job. They did the RPO on the fake on the inside, on the divide, and he just kept it for the touchdown. There you go, right there. He just tucks it up and goes. Look at that. Thank you. I tell you, we got the best crew in the business with these replays right back.
7 plays, 76 yards. Delaney Hilferty, the senior kicker, and it's up and good. 11:28 remaining in the first. The first points of the game go to the home team, and the Mayor's Cup is underway. Beautiful crowd on hand, as expected. Opening day for Kings and Wilkes, and the red and crimson have brought this one out. I should say the red and gold have brought this crowd to its feet with a 7-play, 76-yard drive. Russell Minor Shaw was 3 for 3, Coach, on that, and they ran the ball at a pace of 12.8 carries. Average yards per carry, I should say.
That's crazy. I mean, to start the game, and we saw how explosive Brennan Robinson is, and then, you lose your best wide receiver to an ACL, and then Brinson steps up and makes key catches and caught major yardage to help the Kings Monarchs jump to an early lead.
Let's see now if Wilkes can respond. They will have a new quarterback. We'll introduce him in a second.
Justin Moore is deep, and Zane Grover. Sean McCulloch. Deep for the Colonels.
Connor Walsh kicks it off. And a nice return.
Sean McCullough did it.
Yep, McCullough with the return, and Wilkes will have the ball. And here it is. Xavier Power, a familiar name, because a couple of years ago he had to play a lot.
He did.
He didn't play a lot last year. He's been a wide receiver. Isaiah Rodriguez has moved on from the program and step in. Xavier Powell, he won the three-man competition.
He did, and Coach was just singing his praises, how much of a student of the game he is. He's understanding what's expected of him and not to do more than he needs to, just be successful, one play at a time.
From the 32, handed off to Jules, and Jules powers through off that left side. Jules, a first-team Landmark player a year ago. Against Kings last year, he had 101 yards in that loss.
And we know how explosive he is. They go just right there with the RPO, the outside zone. You see just how explosive and low he gets. The center of gravity he has, it makes it really difficult for him to get brought down.
Wilkes overall last year finished 5-6, 4-2 in the Landmark play. The average last year, 368 yards per game, 30 points as well. Can they do it with Powell at quarterback? First pass, looking downfield. Has a receiver. That is Devin Higgins. And the senior is up for a first down at midfield. 14-yard gain.
Well, to answer your question, can Xavier Powell throw the ball? Yes, he can, folks. He knows what to do. The pressure's really not on him because he's played the position before. Nice pass and catch, and Devin Higgins gets the yards after catch with that spin move.
Out to Zane Grover from East Stroudsburg. He powers through on a little screen. Going to be a yard short of a first down, but they are in Monarchs territory.
Look how quick, and look at this delivery that Powell has. Boom. Leads him perfectly. All he had to do was tuck in the ball and turn and go, and he got a nice explosive run.
Jake Rupert with the tackle. Number 1, a senior out of Malvern. Kings last year gave up 16.6 points per game. Did have 24 sacks in the MAC. Here's McCullough with the speed.
Wow.
But shooting out of a cannon
13.
was number 13.
We'll get it. I'm trying to find him on the defensive side.
Trevor
Gleason,
Yep.
6'3", 180-pound senior. Wow. He was fired out of a cannon on that. He read that perfectly. The receivers, Jimmy Johnson, Devin Higgins, and Jason Dean for Wilkes.
So they're your offensive linemen. What do you think up front? Well, a very experienced crew with Poluchik, a first-team Landmark player last year.
Well, those guys, they are huge up front, that's for sure. They average 295 pounds, and they have some experience in there.
Down the middle, wide open, and pulling it in is Justin Moore, and at the 49-yard touchdown strike for Powell to Moore, and with the PAT, will be tied up in the first quarter.
Wow. Talk about electricity. This game is bringing it, baby. They're pulling out all the stops, and we're still in the first quarter. Powell, nice job. Great job with the protection. Beautifully thrown ball, but number 6, Justin Moore, the senior, got right behind number 10 on King's defense for that touchdown strike.
Orlando in for the PAT. And so Valpone does the place kicking. And that is up and through. And Wilkes responds in dramatic fashion. 5 plays, 69 yards. And on that, just like Russell Minor-Shaw, he goes 3 for 3. Both quarterbacks are pitching a perfect game.
And you saw right there, Elijah Jewell did a great job from his running back position went to his B gap to pick up that inside linebacker blitz that allowed Powell to get that beautifully thrown ball for the touchdown.
So David Beaver's team responds, and the culture definitely changed a little bit, as we talked about
yes.
With Coach Beaver.
He wanted to make sure that they understood that team concept, that we have to lean on each other. There's going to be good times, bad times, but we're there for each other, and we're going to be changing things. He wants to be more disciplined. He's not going to tolerate, any of the shenanigans that could happen throughout the course of the game and the season. I talked to their strength coach before the game, Coach Keyhole, and he said the same thing. He was very excited that Coach Beavers took over.
Coach Zabrowski on the other side running a tight practice for about 3 weeks. So these guys are ready to hit somebody because they've been with each other for just about a month. School has started, and they are all ready to go. And what a way to kick things off with this Mayor's Cup, which was always the last game of the year up until last year. And we kind of commented, too. We like it being the first game. And I think the fans do now, and I think the players and coaches, too.
They really do. And it sets the tone for the season. And Wilkes, talking to Coach, he said that they took them 3 weeks to rebound because of that. Because for them it was devastating that they lost the game. But how they lost the game in the last minutes of the game, that really stuck in their craw.
Nice return for Kings.
Number 2.
Eric Schreiner pulls it up, and the Monarchs come back out. We're tied at 7. Here's the defense for the Colonels. A lot of experience up front. Redmond, Ramos, Hess, and Golay. We saw them all start last year. Adesso moves from safety to linebacker. James and Murray, a very good player in there. In the secondary, again, a lot of experience back there. Watch out to 2 sophomores, Marshall and Barberry.
Well, at Pittston Pride right there, Robbie Barberi. His dad was the coach there. His grandfather's a longtime Pittston coach and a coach at Wilkes.
So on the return, we have a hold, so that will back up this starting position for Kings inside the 25 to the 24. And Coach Zabrowski is almost at midfield. The referee is going to say, Coach, I know it's your first year and first game, but you got to stay in the sidelines.
First Mayor's Cup, yes. All the excitement's there, but he's got to stay within the box because, again, you don't want to you'll get that sideline warning, and then they'll just throw the flag.
Yeah, this Kings offense averaged last year 26.5 points per game. That was with Shaw, though, as his first start. He has some experience coming in up to Robinson.
Well, and the offensive coordinator for Kings is doing a real nice job. He sees something that they keep running that inside zone, and they're gashing them for 4 and 5 yards.
So between Haley and Robinson in there, we have a 25 and a 23. Right now it's Robinson out of Radnor. 25, the sidecar next to Shaw. 4-man front. Out quickly. This is Michael DiGregorio wearing Tyler Carey's number. The 2 Old Forge players in honor of Carey. DiGregorio pulls it up, and he's going to have to be a weapon against this team. 557 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. How about a career for Michael DiGregorio here? 85 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns.
He is. We saw him at Old Forge and how he developed there, and just to see how he's matured playing here for Kings, how quick he's gotten and how much stronger. And that's why he's been a key replacement in here. Well, I shouldn't say replacement. He's got plenty of time.
He does. Shaw now 4 for 4. Back again. No pressure being put on. Great job by this offensive line against an experienced defensive line. Shaw across his body. Intended from no one. He takes a hit out of bounds. No flag on the play. Steele Hess chasing him.
Well, we've seen how intense this game. Look at the offensive line right there. Nice job mugging him up. Number 55 just staying with his block the entire time and throwing across his body. That's a dangerous throw. You saw there were 5 white jerseys back there.
Well, when you have Angel Ramos at 255 and Steele Hess at 275 chasing, you get rid of the ball. And those 2 guys have played together the last 3 years, and that's quite a tandem in there. Angel Ramos, a first-team all-region defensive tackle. He returns. So the punter is in. Watson. Low snap, little rush, and a fair catch going to be called by Wilkes. No gain. Zane Grover fair catches that, and Wilkes on for their second possession so far. Everybody's kind of calmed down now. Right now what happens? I think the adrenaline's going. Now you're just playing football.
Now
right?
they're going to play football. The emotions are still going to be there. They're going to keep them in check. It'll be interesting to see how Wilkes responds. They have really good field position to start. So again, they're only 8 yards away from Monarch territory.
Xavier Powell also 3 for 3 on that first drive, 66 yards, and that long pass, 51-yard touchdown strike. He's going to try again. Looking downfield, and he's got another guy wide open. Pulled in. What a catch downfield. Number 3, Johnny Johnson's in the house, and he pulls it in for a 58-yard touchdown.
I think the speed of their wide receivers is very deceiving right now for Kings secondary. They're getting behind everybody. Look at that. He had them by a good 4 yards. Ball thrown down the middle. Juju Fears was the defender on that. And Elijah Jules. But no, Amir Gibson was also there that got beat. Again, they're going to have to address that secondary coverage by maybe playing them off a little bit further if they're that much faster.
And the sophomore out of Easton pulls that in. And Coach Beaver talked about the depth of his wide receiver room. He was going to play 8 guys, and he is. Juju Fears, there's a flag down. They're going to wave that one off. Pulls in his first touchdown of his career, and it is a strike from Xavier Powell, who is showing why he's the starting quarterback.
And we got the swinging gate, extra point here. You see lots of motion.
Xavier Powell, 124 yards, and we're only not even halfway into this game. Just over half, and the PAT is up and through. Valpone does that. And Wilkes takes the 7-point lead, 6:57 remaining in this first quarter.
Xavier Powell looks like he's been playing quarterback for 3 years. Here's the replay of it. Isn't it a great job with the offensive line? Look at that. Giving them time, steps up. And again, what's key here is that their receivers are getting behind the secondary. They're making it look very easy right now, but this is a long game. Bob, you said we're almost halfway through the first quarter, and he has over 120 yards passing.
Unbelievable. 4 for 4, and the quarterback's putting on a show here. Been an offensive power that has been on display. Very reminiscent of the 2022 game when Wilkes won 58-42. And we're headed that direction one more time. Well, there's Wilkes in the Landmark Conference, second year. They're picked 4th. And you mentioned what Coach said. Last year they lost to Kings. They went and lost 4 straight games. But then they came back. They picked some big wins. And they ended the season on a winning note in the Cape Henry Bowl. They won 35-17 to end the year 5-6. But that momentum they want to carry over into this year.
And it really, talking with Coach earlier in the week, they were upset last year at how they lost the game. I mean, you lose, one of the teams is going to lose every time you step on the field. But the way they lost, that was a lot of momentum in the offseason to carry the Wilkes Colonels to where they are.
From the 10. Brinson back on the kickoff return. We already saw the sophomore speed. They set him back, and they have a good return, good field position now for the Monarchs.
They set up a pretty nice wall in there. You see the hole. He's patient, and he squirts right through 2 of his blockers right in there to gain that extra 5 yards. Good vision.
So it was a punt situation the last time Kings had the ball. And let's see, they bring it back out. Russell Minor Shaw, 4 or 5, 41 yards. Let's see if they go back to this run game. And we have a flag down. That delay of game, Coach?
Yes.
So Minor Shaw trying to survey the field.
Number 12 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Coach Zabrowski right now, that's frustration right there. There's no reason for that to have happened. They had plenty of time on the line. I know that Russell Minor Shaw is trying to read the defense, but just play the game.
There's the carry, and making the tackle, number 1, Jesse Adesso, converted safety. He was playing linebacker this year.
And you see they just go with that RPO again, and then he cuts back. And look at that hit that. Again, we talk about pursuit to the ball right there. Adesso does a great job coming in, hits him from behind. And I'm sure Coach will tell him next time you do that, get your hand in there and start trying to strip the ball, punch it out.
Here's Shaw's first run. He has good legs, and he's got a first down and more. Shoots through for a 12-yard gain. Those Russell Minor Shaw, who ran for 799 yards and touchdowns a year ago.
And you'll see they just go with the same play action, start watching the flow, and now watching here. Look at this. He's just a big guy running the ball in there. And I think there was a flag. I'm not, yep, we'll see.
Yeah, flag on the far side, near the line where the line to gain was.
First inclination is it's going to be against Wilkes.
No foul for unsportsmanlike conduct on the play.
Okay.
Obviously, the referees know what this game's all about. They're watching the emotions, watching the extra hits. They're going to wave that one off, so a positive gain. And just inside Colonel's territory, once again, are the Kings College Monarchs. 8-2 last year overall for Kings. They beat F&M in the MAC Centennial Bowl. They're picked second in the MAC this year behind Delaware Valley. So a lot of accolades and a lot going on.
Wow, lots of gang tackling right there from the Colonels.
That's Robinson again, Ramos there, and Steele Hess as expected up front.
And Talon Murray is a 6 foot, 205-pound junior, 0. You'll see him come into right there. He steps up. Nice job. Again, number 4 coming in. Ramos, I mean, this is why the coach was so excited. They've got experience, and they understand how to play the game. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Murray led the Landmark Conference in total tackles last year, 103. Number 0. Watch him in the middle and the flag down. Maybe some movement from the side judge. It is going to go against Kings. And this will be their 4th penalty
Prior
of the
to
game.
The snap, false start. Number 83 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So they look so good on that first drive, but so far penalties are really starting to plague this Monarch team.
Coach Beavers for the Colonels said, I asked him a question. I said, did you change your schemes? And he said, absolutely not. With all the experience and the veteran players, he said, I don't have to outcoach myself.
Shaw fakes it, has room. He bounces outside, gets a block, and has a first down and more. 18 more yards for Russell Minor Shaw, and he's down at the 37.
He's like I said, he's a big guy, 225 pounds. He runs really well, folks, as you can see on your TVs right now. That's one thing I'm not sure the Colonels really prepared a lot for, because he's a very deadly, accurate thrower. So now he's putting it on his legs.
Number 66, Kenny Monaco, an experienced senior lineman, has come out of the game. He is on the bench injured. Terrell Wood in, number 73. Shaw the fake. Hits to McCombs, his H-back, and minimal gain. Could have ran it maybe, but instead he put it in the hands of McCombs, and on the tackle is Murray.
Good job by the Colonel secondary to take anyway. Deep threats, you check your safety valve right there. And again, hey, it's a positive, so you'll take 5 yards on that.
Absolutely. All positive plays work, especially in a game like this, as we know. Doesn't matter who has the lead going into the second half, anything can happen. So, Jayon Haley out of Penwood is in the backfield. And he's going to go right to him, right down the seam, down the middle. No one took him, and it's a touchdown, Kings, 34-yard strike.
Wow. Jayon Haley from Penwood, 5'9", 185 pounds. No one covered him. I mean, and if you watch Minor Shaw's passing on this, he's just like, watch, just nice and easy, boop, and it's right there. Look at that. Caught him in full stride.
I believe the safety's responsibility. Robert Berry, the sophomore out of Pittston, that's his responsibility, don't you think?
It was. I think he stepped up. I think he just misread the play. Obviously, misread it. He stepped up, and that allowed. But number 23, Haley got off the line of scrimmage like no one touched him. Boy, do we have a great game going here, folks.
And we do. Let's look at this one again after the Hilferty PAT.
Look at that. Just nice, easy. I mean, he was in full stride, which is unusual because most receivers, their first 5 yards, you're getting that collision zone. And then, but nothing there. Great call dialed up by the offensive coordinator here for Kings.
Kings 174 total yards in the first quarter, folks. 16 plays, 127 for Wilkes, 6. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild one here in this 28th annual Mayor's Cup. And that's the way it should be.
28 points, Bob, with just a little bit over 9 minutes, or under 9 minutes gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Woo!
And we haven't talked about what it means for Delaney Hilferty and Alyssa Accordino, the 2 female kickers for Kings, have been in this program for many years.
Yes.
And even with the last couple of coaches, they brought them on. And it really is special to see some females on the field with them.
Usually you get one, but
yeah.
Kings has 2, and the way that coach is utilizing them, one for extra points, maybe for the field goal, it might be, he said he doesn't want to give it away, so we're going to have to wait and see who he calls on.
This is Lasada now doing the kickoffs. And it goes deep.
14.
And McCall again,
Yep.
and he shoots outside. And what great speed by him up to the 35. Well, Jake Sarwars has a special guest down in the tent. Let's go down to Jake right now.
Hey, Bob and Jan, that's right. I'm here with Dr. Chris O'Brien, the Dean of the Health Sciences at King's College. So, Dr. O'Brien, we talked to you just a year ago at the same game at Mayor's Cup. And when we were talking earlier, you're saying this has been a big year for the health science programs at King's. Talk to us about those updates that have been going on.
Yeah, since we're here tonight with all the athletes, coaches, and athletic training staff, it's a good time for us to mention that our Bachelor's of Science in Exercise Science, the Strength and Conditioning track, just received accreditation from the National Strength and Conditioning Association's Council on Accreditation of Strength and Conditioning Education. This is really exciting because now not only do we have the only accredited athletic training program in Northeast Pennsylvania, we also have the first undergraduate strength and conditioning program in the whole state of Pennsylvania to be accredited right here at King's.
Wow. And what, with that accreditation, will set your students apart from other places when they go to apply for jobs?
When we have accreditation, it's really the gold standard to say that we've met the highest marks and we're putting out the best qualified graduates, and it's really going to help them in the marketplace with jobs. But it's also going to help us at King's. It's going to help us develop more prestigious additional partnerships with the community and be able to apply better educational opportunities.
Sure. Now, one thing I always like to reference is, we've known each other. You're by trade an athletic trainer. The importance of athletic trainers in all sports fields, but especially here at a football game. Can you talk to me a little bit more about, on both sides, how athletic trainers are really working to ensure that students are safe when they're out on the field playing a game they love?
Sure. I mean, athletic trainers are healthcare professionals. A lot of what athletic trainers do, we see them when they're here on the sidelines or someone gets injured on the field. But it's really a lot more beyond that with prevention, strength and conditioning, rehabilitation, all kinds of wellness and health all around. And that's where it's going to partner well with our Bachelor's of Science and Exercise Science program in the strength and conditioning aspect to give our athletes here the complete experience of healthcare and the best healthcare that can be provided.
Sure. And Dr. O'Brien, we were mentioning before, over the summer you guys had a health science camp for kids 9th through 12th grade, kind of getting that head start. What other events do you have going forward from here, too, that will really kind of attract students to your institution?
Coming up in October, early October 4th and 5th, we have a Health and Human Performance Conference with the National Strength and Conditioning Association, the state chapter. Dr. Jan Krachmar is going to be on later to tell us about that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were mentioning before, too, you're having some open houses, including some virtual ones coming up, too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our nutrition programs, which is a completely online program that can be completed part-time in as little as 24 months. We have Masters of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics, which will lead you, if you want, to sit for the registered exam, become a registered dietitian and nutritionist. And then we have the master's program in nutrition science, which would be for other professionals that would want to get that expertise in nutrition. That first virtual open house is going to be on September 18th at 7:30 p.m. You can go to kings.edu/events and register there.
That sounds good. Sounds like a lot of exciting things going on. Dr. O'Brien, thank you so much. Bob and Jan, back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Jake, and
That's
thank
awesome.
you, Doctor.
Yes.
So a couple plays and a first down for Wilkes during that. Up to the 45-yard line. 90 seconds to play in the wild first quarter here at McCarthy Stadium as the sun sets in the west and the lights will take over momentarily.
Xavier Powell has had 3 run plays from his quarterback position. The last one was, I'm not going to call it the tush push, but, it was quarterback keep that gave them another first down.
Jules next to Powell. They'll give it off to Jules this time. And the Kings College Monarchs are right there. We'll take a quick look at the starting defense for the Monarchs, who gave up 16 points last year. Kamara, Ricino, Stewart, and Levine. We'll talk about them in a second. Levine now wearing number 0. Jake Rupert, Rito, and Gleason in there. And then the secondary tested so far, Barber, Griffin, Tristan, and Amir Gibson. So the defensive line is where, I wouldn't call it a weakness, but where they had to replace a lot of players for Kings.
They really did. And Coach talked about, and you might hear the stands start yelling, ooze, not booze, but ooze. Osman Kamara, they really likes the way that young man plays.
Going deep again, and it is pulled in. Touchdown, Wilkes. What a strike to Zane Grover from East Stroudsburg. Gets his first touchdown of the year. 54-yard strike. And this Kings defense is really being tested against Powell and these wide receivers.
Well, the offensive line, let's give credit where credit's due. Look at the time he has to get that ball out, but the receivers are getting themselves open. That time, he beat number 4, Amir Gibson, who's 5'6". He gave up, 6 inches on him, but again, right there, Zane Grover had a good half yard behind him.
Valpone's PAT is up and through, and Wilkes takes back the lead now. 21-14, 5 plays, 66 yards. And here it is again.
Good job with the fake on the RPO. You saw Elijah Jules gets lost in the middle there, which freezes your linebackers because you don't know if he had the ball or not because he snapped his shoulders over top. A nice job by Grover to get behind him again. But that ball thrown was really, really sweet ball there by Xavier Powell.
5 for 5, Powell is on his first start in a few years, 178 yards, and count them, 1, 2, 3 touchdowns.
And you would think he would be a little bit rusty from back there and not having that pressure. Scrimmage is good, but when you're playing in this game, you would think that he would have the nerves, but nah, he's Iron Man out there.
Absolutely Iron Man.
That's Coach Beavers there in the center of your screen, talking to number 3 right now.
Braden Snyder, 89, now doing the kicking for Wilkes, so a change there from the original lineup.
You see, you just saw Coach Beavers give it, guys, get back. We got to make sure we're disciplined. We don't want to get any silly penalties.
High deep kick taken from the 10.
That's
nice.
Tony Brinson.
Brinson again, the sophomore. We saw his speed so far, and he's up past the 40, so good field position now for the Monarchs really to get back in this game, and we're only in the first quarter.
Look at this. Nice job. Look at the vision he has and just the explosiveness. He gets behind his blockers. Nice job right there, sidestepping number 89. And then he just gets hit by a host of white jerseys from the Colonels.
So Kings comes back out.
And there's a penalty.
Holding number 33 on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Story of the game so far, 5 penalties on the Monarchs, none for Wilkes.
And if you remember, folks, it's a spot foul from where it was. He brought the ball out to the 43. That it was held was at the 26-yard line, so that backs them up even deeper. So that great field position now is negated.
Coach, have you ever been a part of a game where average per play yards, 17 for Wilkes and over 10 for Kings?
No.
Per play. We're not talking
No,
about per play.
Per play. That's craziness. I mean, it's not like the defenses are good defenses.
Yes.
They're just explosive. Both teams are just making great calls at the right time.
Russell Minor-Shaw, 6 of 7, 78 yards so far. That's through the air, and there's the rush, and Steelhast gets him. First sack of the day goes to the senior from Whitehall. That's his 7th career sack.
What a perfect time. Let's see what happens in there. Oh, he went to the outside. He went to the C gap and just beat his man clean. And Russell Minor-Shaw just didn't have a chance.
First quarter's in the books. 21-14 is the score. It's Wilkes over Kings in the 28th annual Mayor's Cup matchup.
VIP tickets, a pass to the Tournament of Roses Parade, and all travel and hotel accommodations will be organized by See the World Travel from Luzerne, PA. Tickets are being sold for $20 each, and the drawing will take place on November 2nd. Enter for your chance to win today, and thank you in advance for all your support. Fans, make sure to visit the official online home of Kings Athletics at kingscollegeathletics.com. for all your up-to-date coverage of all 28 of the Monarch teams. Stats, stories, schedules, and more are available at the official home of Monarch Athletics, kingscollegeathletics.com. The online conversation.
We are back at McCarthy Stadium in Wilkes-Barre Township, where a bunch of points have been put up on the board so far, 35 overall.
Wow.
Back and forth we have gone, and the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks, putting a clinic on here tonight. Now it's Russell Minor-Shaw's turn to see if he can get his team back into the end zone. The penalties have helped them, and then a sack as we head into the second quarter by Steelhast really has backed them up into a 2nd and 20 at the 7.
I mean, Bob, we're seeing some great quarterbacking, as you just mentioned, but they're just cool, calm, and collected, and the emotions are keeping them in check, especially the quarterbacks. I mean, it'd be easy for both quarterbacks to be like high-fiving and doing – they're just doing their jobs right now.
Yeah, it's really going to be up to this offensive line to protect Shaw against a very good front four. They're going to go to the run game, bouncing it out as Robinson, and he gets the corner. And nice gain, almost 10 yards. Murray and Ramos on the tackle.
You see Ramos beats his man, puts pressure, almost got the sack, and then Zero coming in, Talon Murray, the 6', 205-pound junior coming in to not drop him, but he gained 8 yards on that.
Michael Cornick, the sophomore, number 22, also in there for Wilkes. So a big third down now for Kings. They're 0 for 1 today on third down. Last year, they converted third downs at a 39% throughout the season. Shaw gets rid of it quickly, out into the flat. He's got Robinson with some speed. It's going to be dependent on the mark. I think it's going to be short of the first. He had to get to the 27. 2 yards short, and the punt team does come on for Kings.
And you'll see right there, E.J. Schreiner, number 2, the wide receiver for Kings, did a great job with his stalk block, but as soon as he had the back, he let up. But, I mean, really heads up there by E.J. Schreiner.
Number 85, John Watson, the punter for Kings, back deep for the Colonels. Number 2, Zane Grover.
I mean, they've gained 15 yards, but that penalty crushed them.
McElroy now into punt. Grover backs him up. Fair catch signaled at the 35-yard line. So that's where Wilkes will come back out with Xavier Powell in their gold yellow helmets with the W's on the side, and they have a new offensive coordinator as well, does Wilkes.
And he was, from what I understand, he went to Moorhead State. It was the offensive coordinator, and then when Coach Beavers got the job, he called him, and he came back because he wanted to work with Coach Beavers again and the Colonels.
That's Matt Rogers, who is the new OC for Wilkes. I haven't seen much difference in Wilkes. I mean, last year Jonathan Drock ran a spread offense, a lot of throwing, but I mean, they're kind of doing the same thing. They haven't run the ball. They haven't had to run the ball at all with Powell. It's been all through the air for Wilkes. Back to the air they go. They're going to go back down the side. No one picked up Elijah Jules, and he is off. Makes a cut. Still on his feet. Jules all the way down to the 2-yard line. What a play. And he was wide open.
Well, Bob, you just said it's been all about the passing. Elijah Jules, who was our spotlight player, this is what makes him so dangerous. He was the back out, linebacker's bit. And then again, look at that. He just shake and bakes in there, and he just keeps going. Sets up the Colonels for great field position inside, deep inside the red zone.
1st and goal, Wilkes. Trying to add on to their lead from the 3. Powell behind Jules. And Powell shoots in for his first touchdown of the season. This one on the ground. And Wilkes now extends the lead.
Well, Xavier Powell, he followed Elijah Jules, who's 170 pounds. Powell's 210 pounds, and followed him in for that touchdown. They're a little bit hyped up in there. You see number 72, Luke Baker, 6 foot, 295 pound sophomore pulling in there.
So they're going to go for 2, little trickery, and they pull it off. 2-point conversion is good. So the pass comes from Murray, and a little flip out to number 43, Tyler Wetzel. And Murray is in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Wow.
Well, going for the 2-point, gutsy call at this point. You're up, and all you have to do, you don't have to chase points, but that's going to be a tiebreaker right there.
I know. So let's recap the 2-play drive. 61-yard run by Elijah from Powell to Jules, 61 yards through the air. Goes 64 total yards overall. Powell gets the touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion. And here, let's look at this pass one more time.
Look at that. He does the fake, and it's like, thank you. Here it is. Elijah Jules is like, hey, I'm wide open, bro. Get me the ball. Nice job for trying to read his block. Use number 8. Set it up. That's Devin Higgins, the wide receiver, helping out. And then right here for the touchdown, just lumbers in there, the big guy, with the help of the offensive line, Luke Baker, number 72.
So Powell well on his way to establishing some
personal
records.
Yes.
He's 6 of 6 right now, 239 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I'm not sure what any of the records are at Wilkes, but he's got to be chasing it. Right there, you see Coach saying, hey, it's got to come from the heart right now. Guys, come on. Settle down. We've got to play settle down, and we just have to play Kings football, Monarch football.
Did he called timeout. This is before even the kick.
Right.
He called timeout. So obviously he had something to say to his team.
And he's just saying, do your job. He just said that 3 times that I could read his lips on that.
Well, you've been in these type of games.
And what happens is you're trying to do too much, or like I'm going to cheat on this play, and then you get burnt. And that's what happens. You just have to play discipline and do your job football. And right now, I know Coach is frustrated, but he it's still early in the game. There's a ton of football to play, and we saw last year they came back at the end of the game to win it. So it's not over by any means.
And don't forget, Wilkes remembered that when I talked to them last week. They remember what happened at home last year at Schmidt. They had the lead going into the 4th quarter. They let it slip away. Mm-hmm. They have the lead right now by 15.
And that chip on their shoulder, they felt embarrassed in front of their home crowd with that. So, yeah, they're playing with a lot to win and a lot to prove, especially in the closest rivalry in the country.
So Snyder has it teed up. after the timeout. 12:30 to play in the second quarter of the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup game. Brinson lets it go into the end zone, and
Touchback.
it will be a touchback. Come out to the 25-yard line. Look at the way the offense started for Kings was pretty good. Let's see what they can do now. Jake with another interview. Let's go down to Jake in the tent.
Yeah, Bob and Jan, I'm joined by Natalie Hernandez, who's a senior at Wilkes this year. Natalie, first and foremost, talk to me about how you're feeling in this game right now. It's super close. It's anyone's game at this moment. Tell me how you're feeling.
Absolutely. I mean, the day is beautiful, and Wilkes is really putting their best out there.
Yeah. So you are a business student at Wilkes, and they just received their AACSB accreditation, one of the highest business school accreditations you can get in the country. Talk to me about how that accreditation is really benefiting you as a student right now.
Well, this accreditation, again, that less than 6% of business schools in the country have, it'll really put Wilkes on the map. You know, not only do we have a really great, diverse set of professors, but also a really unique course curriculum that really puts forth the students to put their best.
Sure. Now, you know, in those course curriculums, and of course, you know, you're in senior year right now. I'm sure you're reflecting a lot too. I mean, even though we're at the beginning of it, talk to me a little bit. You know, what's your most fond memory about even being in those courses with a professor, or even just being a Wilkes Colonel?
I think my best memory was during the Integrated Management Experience course. It puts groups of students from all different majors in the business school together and literally puts you into the business world. You bring forth a business from the startup, and it just really lays that foundation that a business student should have. And it's also like hands-on, which is great.
What was the business that you guys came up with?
So we had the Wilkes-University ice scraper. Okay. So during the winter, they had a car ice scraper that we sold out, and it was great.
So you actually sold the product as well, too? So you created it, you created the business plan, and you sold it? Absolutely.
We marketed it, and we sold it. All of the profits for that goes to a charity of our choosing. So that was also amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Awesome. Good to hear. So, you know, like we said, we're just starting off the school year, but a few months away from graduation.
Absolutely.
What's up for you after you graduate?
So I will be starting a master's, focusing on accounting as well. And then, again, starting the CPA licensing, studying so that I can take the test and everything like that, as well as going back to PricewaterhouseCoopers where I interned. So I'll be interning there again this coming winter, actually.
Okay, awesome. So you'll be with one of the bigger firms, too. Have you ever thought of owning your own firm as well one day?
Absolutely. I would love to own my own CPA firm. I have a really strong passion for helping small businesses. So that is really something that I would look forward to.
Yeah. So like we were saying, it's a time for reminiscing. It's a time for remembering kind of where you were and what you've kind of done over the last 4 years here at Wilkes. Talk to me a little bit. What's that advice that you have for the high school student that may be thinking of going into a business program or even going to Wilkes themselves?
In terms of either a business program or Wilkes, just do it. I mean, absolutely. I had the most fondest memories here at Wilkes University, and especially in the business school. And now with this accreditation, you will be competing with the top schools in the country. So no matter if you are here at Wilkes, you know, you will be pretty much set for the professional world.
Well, awesome. Well, Natalie, it sounds like you have a lot of great things coming up the rest of this year, and of course, a great career ahead. Thank you so much. Bob and Jan, guys, back up to you in the booth.
Thank you.
Well, some excitement on the field as that interview was going on. You saw Kings putting a great drive on. The blitz coming right there. Looks like a late hit on the quarterback, and Wilkes will pick up their first penalty of the game. As you can see,
they're saying it's going to be, helmet. Yeah, that's a huge penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 2 and number 5 on the defense. That penalty will result in an automatic first down.
Well, and again, Kings is on the move on the feet of Jayon Haley, who's done a great job on a couple run plays. They also just did a swing pass right before this play to him. I mean, so they're really starting to use their running back effectively.
So the first penalty of the evening goes for Wilkes, and it's a big one, 15 yards. And now the Monarchs are in Colonel's territory at the 28-yard line, trying to cut into this 15-point lead. And they're putting a nice drive together after that long speech from Coach Zabrowski before the kick. Shaw fakes it. out to his tight end, and he hits McCombs, the 6'3 senior, for a positive gain, and it is a first down.
Well, McCombs, I'll tell you, did a great job reading the defense, and we always tell your receivers, throttle down into the dead zone. Look at that, right in between. He split both of the Colonels right in there, got himself open, a great play call.
Kings once again inside the red zone. The fake, the roll by Shaw. Still looking, and can't hit DiGregorio coming across, and it goes incomplete.
Good job by the Colonel secondary there to take away any long threats. Linebackers did a nice job. You see all number 97 in your screen, folks. That's Steeler Hess with his pursuit. Nice job. Again, smartly just throws it. He couldn't get the ball to him.
Nice response from the Monarchs, moving the ball down the field.
They've got to get points, Bob, on this drive to keep this game close.
Shaw keeps it, breaks 2 tackles. Inside the 10, first and goal, Kings College. Shaw with a nice fake and a nice keeper.
Nice job in there by the O-line to open that up for him. They go big on big or Bob blocking, and he does a nice job reading that. Tucks the ball away. Good ball security, because we know that was one of the keys to the game they were talking about.
Got out of the tackle of Ramos, and he sets up Kings now to cut into this lead. Go to the air. Hess has him, can't take him out, and he'll be knocked out of bounds.
Good coverage again by the Colonel's secondary. And again, nice pursuit by the defensive line. They come in and they just keep going. And that was, we keep calling his name, Steeler Hess, doing a nice job in there, just pestering the heck out of Russell Minor Shaw.
Half yard, let's call it a yard gain on that. Second down. From the 7. Robinson, draw. There's the defense shooting in. Good defensive play by Barberi, the safety. The sophomore reading that up to the 5.
Nice job. Again, seeing a nice local kid from Pittston doing a nice job in there. Robbie Barberi comes up. Nice job getting support from Talon Murray, number 0.
Eleventh play of this drive. To the air, to McCombs, and the tight end has another touchdown for Kings. A 5-yard strike.
Nice job, 6'3", 225-pound senior, just drags across. And again, you'll see right there, Shaw just rolls to his right real quick, just comes right across. He makes himself open, got himself bigger than he is into the end zone. The Monarchs definitely needed that touchdown and this extra point right now.
Hilferty's kick is up and through, just through, and Kings drives down the field, 11 plays, 75 yards. McCombs pulls it in for his first touchdown of the game. And it's back to an 8-point contest, so exactly 7 minutes left in this half. So here are the preseason rankings for the MAC coming in. I mentioned Kings is right there near the top, and that's what the coaches feel, this team's going to be all about. Of course, Delaware Valley, very good all the time in the MAC. But then you have Stevenson, Widener, Misericordia is in there.
And FDU, FDU's always, when I coached at both schools, you never knew what you got from FDU because 1 week they would tack a lot of points up. Next week they couldn't. Misericordia, we know that they've been all right. Alvernia is a newer program coming in. Albright,
they've struggled the last few years.
Misericordia will come here next week for a 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. They played this afternoon. We'll get that score to you as well.
Back deep for Wilkes. Number 6, Justin Moore. Number 14, Sean McCullough.
So McCullough deep again with Justin Moore for Wilkes. As Lozado will tee this one back up. High kick. McCullough from about the 11.
Oh,
up through, and a big hit by number 1 for Kings.
Number 7.
Oh, number 7. And I believe that's the guy that just caught the touchdown pass, McCombs.
Watch this hit, folks. Boom! Great job in there.
It is McCombs, just 1-7 on the roster. Remember, we got a lot of double numbers sometimes in college, but that is McCombs. Catches the touchdown and then makes the play on special teams, and now the Monarchs defense has to come through, put a stop on this powerful Wilkes offense that has already put up 257 yards per game. 57 yards, I should say, in this first half. So the crowd coming alive. Powell going to go deep. Overthrown.
Very good coverage that time by number 4. Great job. He's gotten, he got burned a couple times, but that time stride for stride, Amir Gibson. Nice job.
Trying to hit the speedy Juju Fears. That was up there a long time in the air.
He was. Bob, you talked about the MAC, some of the games. Misericordia 24-14 over Keystone. Widener losing big time to Lycoming 48-12. Del Val, big game over Hampton-Sydney 41-21.
That was the first incompletion of the game for Powell. He'll keep it on the ground now. Off the right side, breaks one tackle, makes a move, has a first down and more. Up for 16 yards goes Powell. And just like Russell Minor-Shaw, he's a threat even with his legs.
Watch if we get, here's this great job, guys. Thank you. Watch this replay. Watch how he ends up juking in there.
He faked out our camera
person. He faked out the camera.
Amir Gibson now
here we go. Watch.
Up.
Watch this juke that he does right here with the shoulder.
Whoop. I knew you were going to say that.
I'm getting predictable. I better stop that.
And Amir Gibson made the tackle, and he's the player shaken up coming off the field right now for the Monarchs. Looks to be okay.
He's only given up like 60 pounds, so, come on. That's good to see that he's up and he looks okay. He just, you have to come out mandatory play to make sure. He's good. Look, he's telling everybody, I'm fine. I think maybe he lost a contact.
Could be. So already 50 combined points on the board, and we're only in the first half as the sun is setting and the lights will take over in this Mayor's Cup matchup. 4-man rush. Powell going deep again. 3 players down there, 2 white jerseys, 2 in red, and it falls incomplete. Hard to tell who was that intended for, but 2 guys in the same area.
I think he was going for Johnny Johnson, to be honest with you. He had plenty of time. Great with the turnback protection. Looking at, I'm sorry, number 8.
No, Johnson was
there, but he was, I guess, looking more towards Devin Higgins.
As I said, it was hard to tell. 2 white jerseys in the same area. Crowd getting back into it on the sideline for the Monarchs after they cut into this 15-point lead. Powell still has time, and he takes it down, and he comes up for a 3-yard gain. That's about it. Sean Levine from Tamaqua, the graduate, makes the tackle.
Nice job. Look at the pursuit that the defensive line have in there. They're trying to get off their blocks. They're turning and burning, trying to get back, but nice job by Zero to make that. Sean Levine.
Stewart also in there, a junior. Levine last year, 16 total tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 TFLs. He's a return student as well. So third down. Wilkes today 2 for 2 on third. Powell, plenty of time. Knocked away and almost intercepted. What a great defensive play. Number 28, Zach Barber, the senior, knocks it away, and Wilkes will have to punt for the first time.
What a great breakup by that. I'll tell you what. He had plenty of time to throw the ball. He was trying to get a touch in there, and just a great job in there. Also getting help from number 13 right there. That was nice job, Trevor Gleason.
So Alex Orlando into punt. 41 average a year ago, and we have a timeout from Wilkes.
Talk about momentum switch right now. Boy, everything's going Kings right now. They did a great job, 3 and out to stop them, force them the first time to punt. That puts a little bit of pressure on the Colonels because they haven't been down this road yet in the first half.
That was just a 4-play, 15-yard drive, and they're going to punt on fourth down. Here are the predictions for the Landmark Conference. It's their second year in existence. Susquehanna, cream of the crop, top 10 team. They want to make it to the NCAA playoffs.
Yes, they
That's
do.
great for the Landmark. Wilkes just picked fourth. Lycoming has a lot of returning players, as does Moravian. But I think Wilkes has something to prove this year.
They really do. Again, new conference. We used to have crossover games. Lycoming was always a big one at Wilkes for us. Juniata, we played just one time. But Juniata, wow. Gettysburg, 61. Juniata, 41. Widener, we said earlier, 48-12 loss. Muhlenberg, 33-7 over Moravian.
Susquehanna in the preseason poll is ranked 12th.
And they're the team. They're the team to beat.
They're the team to beat. They beat last year's Division III champions, SUNY Portland last year, who went on to win the Division III title. So nice high kick. DiGregorio is going to field it from his 14. Trying to get a block. Bounces off 2 Wilkes players. DiGregorio down the sideline, still on his feet. DiGregorio dives for the 50, and he gets it, and that's where Kings will have the ball.
And that's where you see, look at the emotion right now. He just did a phenomenal job turning the field. Look at this. He got the ball at the 15, and he just keeps looking. Keeps those feet moving, stutter stepping. Again, you have to wrap up. A lot of kids, they just don't use their arms. They're using the shoulder pads.
If he didn't get tripped up, he'd still be on his feet. Here comes Russell Minor-Shaw back out. 10 of 12 on the day, 103 yards. He has run for 38 total yards and a touchdown. He's been sacked 1 time today. So far, good job by this offensive line. $5:15 left in this first half of the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup, and it's an exciting one. Back and forth we go. Haley, number 23, gets the carry.
Oh, I apologize. Bob, I gave you bad information.
That's 25. It's Robinson. I said there's a 25 and a 23.
And
that was Robinson, and my spotter gave me a bad call.
I did. I take blame. That's my fault. But again, last series it went exclusively with Jayon Haley on the run plays.
So an opportunity now for Kings to tie it going into the half. They have 1 timeout left. Shaw, wide open receiver. He has DiGregorio over there. And they'll move the chains. Gain of 13. The nearest defender was Marshall.
Yeah, great job with this concentration. Watch how he, boom, gets both feet in. Nice job.
44 catches last year for DiGregorio.
Again, we're seeing a lot of local flavor out here on this field, making some impactful plays. Again, DiGregorio from Old Forge. We saw him, in high school. Now we're seeing him in college.
Quick out, almost like a run to Robinson. And he's taken down after a 3-yard gain.
Just that quick swing pass, that was by design. That wasn't his check down. That was right by design from the get start. Nice job on the stalk blocking out there by number 83, Tony Brinson, to swallow up that outside linebacker.
Fourth play of this drive started at the 50. Plenty of time left in this first half for the Monarchs. Just one timeout remaining, though, as I said. Shaw fakes it, being rushed, and just throws it away. And a nice rush being put on by Kellen Redmond, the senior, who has 109 total tackles in his career, 6 sacks and 17 TFLs. Not a bad career for number 5, the senior.
And then to put the pressure on the opposing quarterback right there, Shaw, get in his face. And again, give Shaw credit. Smartly just threw it down. Incomplete pass. Didn't get a sack.
This is the 35th play now being run by Kings this half. Wilkes has run 18. Four-man rush. Shaw flush. Ramos on the chase, but he's got room. And he's got a lot of room. He tiptoes down for an 11-yard gain and moved the chains for Kings.
Wow, Ramos did a lot of pressure on there and really flushed him out of that pocket quickly. But Shaw's feet, watch this. Great job by Colonel Secondary. Look at that pursuit. That's what you want to see from your defensive linemen. And again, now you got to have your linebackers and your strong safeties coming up. And that was Talon Murray, 0 coming up.
But what has plagued Kings' first half have been penalties.
And that
Again,
flag,
sixth penalty of the half already.
I apologize, Bob. I saw the flag come in, but I was like, wow, okay. That's tough. Look at that crowd that we have here at Kings. It's beautiful. Great college atmosphere here in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
So this really hurts Kings because it was third down. So now it's going to be third down and almost 20. We're going to roll the clock, about 3 minutes left. So an opportunity could be wasted for Kings before the half on a mistake of a hold on third down. Some pressure. Here comes Wilkes, putting the pressure on Shaw. They get it over on a screen pass. Gets a block. No flag. Haley comes up to the original line of scrimmage, and now Coach Zabrowski has to make the call. 2:30 left. Does he go for it on fourth down?
Nice job with a great play. How do you counter a blitz? You do with a screen play, and they gain 10 yards on that right there. Nice job by number 8 coming up, making that stop.
Well, I guess he's going to rely on his defense. Wilkes has 3 timeouts left. They have shown that they can move the ball down the field, especially on the long pass. He's going to try to pin them deep. Or is it a fake? Seen that before in these games.
You're only down by a touchdown, so you know what? It's early. Do it, baby. Why not?
No, somebody's gonna call timeout.
He did.
It's a 2-minute timeout. It's the new.
I forgot.
2-minute.
That's right.
2-minute timeout.
Folks.
We'll take a break on the other side. The fourth down call comes. 29-21 your score. Been an offensive show here tonight at McCarthy Stadium. The lights starting to take over in the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup. An 8-point advantage for Wilkes over Kings. We come back after the new 2-minute timeout in college football.
Coach Zabrowski playing that perfectly.
Yeah, he did. Does he change his mind here? Does he go for it? The punter's back out.
It's above my pay grade at this point, Bob.
That's why I'm paying you to make these calls. The viewers want to know your opinion.
He's going to end up. He's going to corner kick it, and it's going to go right towards our sideline. Our timeout judge. I say it's going to be placed at the 10-yard line.
Okay, McElroy will be the punter. It is a snap, and he gets a high pooch kick. And as you said, it doesn't go very far, though. I mean, that went out of bounds way before I think Coach Zabrowski wanted it. And let's see where the referee is going to mark this.
I think he's going to go right by our cameraman, John Gumble, on the sideline there.
Officially, it's going to go down as about a 14-yard punt. So, I mean, what you want for that is what? Inside the 10, right?
Inside the 10, ultimately. And, again, you just want to kick that to the corner so it does bounce out of bounds. But, again, he just hit that a little bit different, and it didn't go where they wanted.
Okay,
but they still have a long way to go.
They do. They do. But they can show the long pass tonight. They're averaging 15 yards per play for Wilkes. 6 of 9, Xavier Powell, 239 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3 timeouts for the Colonels. They're going to give it to Jules. And Elijah Jules is ridden back.
Number 5.
Jared Rito on a banger. The senior comes in. First time we called him tonight.
Yeah, they did a nice job at the RPO. If you saw that play, he pulled that at the very last second, which put 91 in the bind. But there, boy, number 5 does a nice job stepping up.
Michael Riccino's number 91, a sophomore. The outside throw by Powell hits the ground. Trying to hit Jimmy Johnson, so clock stops. This goes right into the hands of Kings on 3rd down and long now.
It really does. It plays in well. And not that Wilkes isn't trying to do anything super special or trying anything different. They're just, Kings' defense is playing really well right now.
Surprised they didn't try to go for a long one.
They just got him.
Flag down. Down the middle, and it's caught into the hands of Justin Moore, the senior, and Justin Moore is going to go for a Justin touchdown. But again, a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
That's a 72-yard strike. I don't think they're going to accept the penalty. I'm spitballing here, Bob.
And you're thinking it's against Kings.
I know it was, yeah. It was encroachment.
Wow. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Xavier Powell. He's right by the officials.
I believe it was. Again, Mike Riccino jumped.
They're bringing him back. The referees have not signaled a touchdown, folks. Let's just say that. Here's a discussion. They're bringing him back.
Wow.
We have multiple fouls on the play.
Okay.
Offside.
That's what I thought.
Defense. Holding number 77 on the offense. Ooh. Those penalties will offset. Replay 3rd down.
What a break for Kings.
Mauro Guarano, the guilty party, offensive right guard. Let's see that.
There's the movement. I didn't see the hold. Yeah. But it was quite a strike. I don't know if we have another angle. We see the hold on that, but they're going to back up Wilkes. Again, only the 2nd penalty of the half.
And that was
for the Colonels.
One.
And huge is an understatement because now it's 3rd down and 7. Clock is stopped with 1:11 left in this highly entertaining first half. They're going to give it to Jules, and the Monarchs defense is right there. Host of players in on there.
That was Usman Kamar doing a nice job from his defensive end position, squeezing down, doing a great job reading that. See it right there. Boom. Nice job in there. They haven't given the ball too many times run-wise to Jules.
That's what I was just going to say that. I mean, coming in, you think they're going to lean on him a lot with the new quarterback in Powell, but Powell has thrown 3 touchdowns, and he has 239 yards, so it's hard to say. But Jules only has 4 carries for 9 yards and a long of 5. So that run game is almost non-existent.
Correct.
For Wilkes. very one-dimensional here in the first half.
And that's where I've seen what Kings has done differently second quarter. They're mixing it up. They're going 50-50, where the Colonels are relying really heavily on their pass game.
Coming up at the half, as we do every year, we'll talk to the presidents of both universities at the half with Jake, and we're happy to have the presidents sit down and chat a little bit, and really focus on what their schools bring to the Wilkes-Barre community. That's coming up at the half. We still have 1:05 left. The timeout was taken, by the way, by Kings. They have 0 left. So the punt team is out. Alex Orlando, who has 2+ 50-yard punts last year. He does have a strong leg. Di Gregorio back to receive.
They got to respect Di Gregorio, how well he can return these balls. So, again, I would hope they're going to kick it away from him.
High snap, pulls it down. There's a rush. Gets a nice high kick. Di Gregorio taken from his 31. Trying to get a block. Can he get away from the Wilkes player? He cannot.
Number 1, Jake Rupert. Number 1 for Wilkes is Jesse Adesso. Nice job with that lasso tackle right there. Great job by Di Gregorio. Again, look at it. Trying to elude, he does it. And right there, he just wrangles him down.
So Adesso pulls him down, or that would have been a nice return. And now, with 52 seconds left, Wilkes will get the ball to begin the third quarter because they deferred the opening kick. So here's Minor Shaw, 112 total yards through the air. He has 2 touchdowns as well. 4-man rush. He's got time down the middle. He goes. It's complete.
Number 2.
And still on
he was still on his feet. E.J. Schreiner.
Yep, E.J. Schreiner makes the catch for Kings.
And again, they're just not doing anything fancy. They're just doing their job. Look at him go through his progressions. He looked to his left, came back to his right, and there was E.J. Schreiner wide open.
Schreiner, 24 catches last year and a touchdown. Flag down in the backfield. Pass is complete.
We know what that is.
Yeah, this may be holding. Called on Kings. Kings 6 penalties before this, 59 yards. And this one's coming back.
Holding. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
So back them up 10.
Monarch faithful a little upset with that call. But again, it was there. It was called. It's not like they make these things up. But let's see what we have in here. Right there, you see the grab. He tackled him to the ground.
Yep. Can't do that. Right there on video.
Yep.
That was Monaco, who went out with an injury before. 285-pound senior. 4-man rush, and Kings, I think, just going to run out the clock. And that was Jayon Haley. And that should do it. And they'll roll this clock down. And we're going to go into the half with a 29-21 score. 50 total points put up between these two teams. Back and forth they went. Wilkes had a 15-point lead. But Kings cut into that as we head into the break. Well, catch your breath. Over 500 total yards up so far between these two teams and 50 points. What can happen in the second half? One only knows. It's Kings and Wilkes in the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup.
You're watching the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup, sponsored by Wilkes University and King's College.
Are you doing white balance or are you doing me? Oh, no, that's why I think I was like trying to move. Yeah, so I'll start off by looking. Hey everybody, welcome to Mayor's Cup here on MyTV WQMY. The score right now is 29 for the Wilkes Colonels to 21 for the King's College Monarchs. So very, very, very good game so far. But for right now, I'm joined by Father Tom Looney. Hey, Father Tom, how are you tonight?
Great to be here. What an exciting night. A great game back and forth. Lots of wonderful people here. Largest crowd ever, so we're just thrilled.
Really, the largest crowd ever for any of these?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome. So talk to me a little bit first and foremost. I mean, in the days leading up to this on campus, such that excitement that your students and your faculty, your staff are feeling again as they head into this moment.
Yeah, you know, a great beginning to the semester. Classes 2 weeks. Athletes have been here for about a month already. You just feel the excitement on campus. So many great new things are happening at King's. We have our Middle States accreditation perfectly done this year. Class with flying colors, you know. Everything financially, everywise, the college is in great shape, just super, you know.
And Father, you mentioned about Middle States, and earlier Dr. O'Brien talked about some other accreditations. What is the importance of having that Middle States accreditation? Why does that set Kings apart from other schools?
Anyone can say they're great. Anyone can say they're doing a great job. But when someone comes in from the outside and gives you that gold stamp that says you are meeting every single requirement for Middle States accreditation, when AACSB comes in and says your business school is one of the top business schools in the area, that's somebody outside is saying you're excellent, data-driven. That's what we want to hear.
Sure. So earlier we were talking about a few health science programs, and you and I were just talking, so you have some big news coming up and a big announcement, right?
Sure. So we started our first doctoral program in the history of the college, occupational therapy. We've renovated the former Times Leader building down near Public Square. It's going to be dedicated in the first weekend of October, and the name will be revealed at that time. It is a state-of-the-art facility. It is an amazing place. Students are already in there working, being taught. They love it. It's going to be a great boost to the local community because the students who are trained there in occupational therapy, they'll be out in our community one day working, helping people to live satisfying and purposeful lives.
Sure. And what else is going on campus? I mean, we haven't spoken to you in a year. I'm sure there's been a lot of updates, improvements, projects going on like that too.
Sure. So we're renovating the first floor of our library to become a center for student success, right? One of the things that students need right now is a one-stop shop to come and say, where's the help that I need to be successful? You know, there's this national survey of student engagement, and King's has proven to be, through data, better than our peer set, right? We are knocking it out of the park in terms of what we call high-impact practices, student-faculty research, student-faculty collaboration on so many levels. Community. It tells us that our community, especially in terms of service learning, reaching out to people in volunteerism, we're at the top of the game. It's really amazing to see that data confirming what we say in our mission statement about who we are as a Catholic institution.
Sure, and it's been said before too, engaged students are retained students, right? And that's a big goal for you as a college as a whole, is to make sure that your students are getting that education, but they're also staying around. They're still, in their community, they're still working, right?
Absolutely. To being a part of something greater than oneself is what education is really all about. We're leading people to become great human beings, right? Which college shouldn't be transactional. It has to be so much more than that, right? Universities, colleges owe democracy so much more. We need to be places where people can dialogue about great questions, about life's meaning and purpose, about what kind of communities we want to be a part of, about what kind of governments we want to foster and govern us. College is a place where those great conversation happens, when students come together. It's what it's all about.
And Father, what's that message that you have for that family of that high school student who may be considering college as a whole, and even King's?
If you want a place where your son or daughter is going to get personal attention, where the faculty member is going to know your son or your daughter's name, where they're going to know how your student learns, and they're going to be able to bring them to that next level. Whether your student's a 4.0 in high school and can do absolutely anything, our faculty will bring you to the next level. If your student struggles a little bit, we're going to bring that student to the next level. It's all about that personal engagement that is at the heart of our education.
Sure. And Father, real quick before I let you go, Again, the 28th annual Mayor's Cup, such a big rivalry between two schools that are only a mile apart, really.
Exactly.
You know, talk to me about, you know, the history really here among the two schools themselves. Really.
Sure, great history between the two colleges, right? Neighbors, but also somewhat enemies, but like with quotations around enemies.
Sure.
You know, we work so hard together. Students take classes at both institutions. We really foster that sense of respect for each other. But you know, here we are on the gridiron. It's really important. You know, it's a pride issue going on here. You know, our guys have been practicing their heart out, giving their heart and soul to this. So of course we're praying for a King's victory, but we know that, you know, this is a great opportunity for the two schools to come together. Look what's happening tonight. People are here. They're enjoying themselves. The crowd is peaceful. No issues at all. It's really phenomenal.
Hey, you said you're praying for victory. Did you put an extra prayer in tonight, too?
Well, you know, I may have done that.
All right. Well, Father Tom Looney, thank you so much for being with us. We will come right back with Dr. Greg Kant from Wilkes University. Stick right there.
And it's always full.
Yeah.
It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Mayor's Cup, MyTV WQMY. Again, the score is 29 for the Wilkes University Colonels to 21 for the King's College Monarchs. You know, we're speaking with President Looney down at King's, and now we're speaking with President Kent over at Wilkes. Mr. President, first and foremost, talk to me a little bit about just the energy you're feeling here tonight. Father Looney was saying this is one of the largest crowds that he's really seen at any of these games.
This is the largest crowd I've ever seen at any of these games. It's fantastic. We made a couple of changes. We've brought bus loads of our students over, and it's just a wonderful night. We haven't had a night game for a long time, and the crowd could not be nicer. There's not a seat that's left in the house. If you see people standing up everywhere, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit. You know, your school year just kicked off. What's been going on campus recently?
So we kicked off only a few weeks ago to the largest class in at least the last 5 years. So we brought in over 720 new undergraduate students. Our graduate program keeps growing strength to strength. But among other things, beyond the normal range of domestic students, the transfer students, we brought in over 100 international students as well.
And you were mentioning it's, you know, one of the largest classes, at least in the last 5 years or so, over 700 students. You know, talk to me a little bit the importance there, because, you know, for so long after COVID, it seemed like it had been a struggle for a lot of universities across the nation. So talk to me about what Wilkes has really done to really kind of change that and kind of be ahead of the curve.
So you're right. For a lot of institutions weren't in great shape already, throw in a global pandemic,
Sure.
And at the end of the day, institutions like us and King's and most of the institutions in our region, we rely on students paying us tuition and, frankly, room and board. That's our business model. So without students, we're not able to provide that experience. So to make sure that we continue to deliver on that promise, all the things we do, both what we do and how we tell our story, is really about the experience of students. So our tag is at Wilkes You Will. So our promise is about opportunity, and if we provide opportunities, we're going to be attractive to students and we'll continue to thrive.
Sure, and we talked to you a year ago, you updated us then, so talk to me about a little bit of improvements, even capital improvements that have gone on campus that have really changed the game for this upcoming school year.
So we make our big capital improvements particularly over summer, and this year our investment has been a lot in our student spaces. So our biggest building is called University Towers. It's one of the largest buildings actually in Wilkes-Barre. We have made a big investment there. Most of our freshmen go to what we call Evans Hall, and we spent $1 million in that facility. So across all the platform of where our students live, and then on the athletic side, we put lights into our baseball field, which has allowed us to expand out. The program is much bigger than it has been in the past, and just generally making investments to have the student experience improve. We spend about $6.5 million a year on capital improvements.
Sure. I was talking to Father Looney kind of about the same question, and I said there's the old age term of engaged students are retained students. Talk to me about that a little bit.
It is. At the end of the day, as well as being a competitive market, there are thousands of universities. It really is a pretty interesting choice. But then when students get here, all the students went through the COVID dilemma. And that was they weren't engaged, they were often working remotely. At some level or another, that has changed the mindset of students that everyone gets. So the absolute truism, if students don't engage and don't connect, they don't retain, they don't graduate, and we can't fulfill the promise. Because coming to university is not a promise to arrive. It's a promise ultimately to graduate. So for all of us, Kings and us and everyone else, retention, which requires deep engagement, is the be-all and end-all.
Sure. You're the seventh president of this college, and over the years, you've seen some great victories at Mayor's Cups. You've seen some losses at Mayor's Cup, like last year. Talk to me a little bit about just it is a rivalry between two schools, but it's also a way to bring the community together.
It is, and it used to be the last game of the season.
Correct.
And then when we moved, we actually changed conferences. We're not in the same conference anymore as Kings, but we've made it the first game. And that's really reinforced, this is the beginning of both our years. And you're right, it's a good, solid rivalry. Last year we felt like we lost the game, if you know what I mean. In other words, it's our mistakes. And 2 years ago when we were here was the worst weather I can remember for a long time. The last game of the season, it was just miserable. So you're right, the students all look forward to it, but it brings the whole community together, and what a great way to kick off the year.
Well, awesome. Well, Dr. Kant, thank you so much for being here. More Mayor's Cup in just a little bit right here on MyTV WQMY.
And we're back at McCarthy Stadium. We're at halftime. Both teams on the field stretching. 29-21 your score. We're going to bring it back into the booth. I'm Bob, that's Sean, and 500 total yards of offense, 50 total points.
Wow.
If you like offense, this is the game for you.
Oh, my gosh. What a great game. I mean, both offenses are throwing strikes everywhere. Defenses are playing well, but you know what, Bob, this game is just what Wilkes-Barre is about right now with these two college teams going at it. Closest rivalry in the country. I mean,
you can't beat it.
You can't. I mean, this is the most exciting game I've actually can remember in a long time.
Absolutely, and high scoring. So let's take a look at some highlights and then some stats as we get ready for second half play. And it got a lot of touchdowns in. We started in sunlight. We're in darkness now. This is Russell Miners Shaw. Wilkes gets on the board on an impressive drive to begin the game, but Wilkes counters.
But again, right now, the quarterback who we weren't sure was going to be any good, you know, I mean, in terms of knocking the rust off, he does. He throws that strike to Justin Moore.
Then Wilkes again.
Coming right
Juju
down.
Fears.
Gets behind him. And look at that. Just pulls that in very simply. And again, I thought this was going to be a runaway from Wilkes, but no. Kings counters right back. Look at this right in there.
Haley.
Beautiful pass to Haley in there.
33-yard strike, and that was 14 all, but then Wilkes scored the next two.
And then watch this pass now to Grover. He gets behind, again, the secondary. And again, nice, easy pitch and catch for a touchdown to number 2, Zane Grover. And then, well, the quarterback says, you know what? It's my turn now. Xavier Power, 220-pounder coming right in, barrels into your living room right there, folks. But now, Kings, what do? They respond. They have a great defensive series. They get the ball. Number 7, McCombs, the tight end, coming out on a drag pattern. And, again, knocks this game down to 1 touchdown. And I said, Bob, to you earlier, I'm wondering why he went for the 2-point conversion. Now I know why. They've got to go. The pressure's on Kings now to get that extra 2-point conversion.
Well, I'm glad I'm not adding up the stats tonight like I do in the high school games. Someone else is doing that, so let's take a look at them. I mean, the plays and everything. There you see the total rushing yards. Not impressive for Wilkes, but 239 yards through the air is very impressive. There you see the total yards per play. And, 21 plays for just 277. Wilkes is averaging 13 yards per play.
That's a nice average to have. But what I really liked was Kings decided second quarter. They came out very balanced, as you can see, between the pass yards and the rush yards. And their defense now is really starting to key on the pass game. They did their corners. They did their corners well, coached them up and said, just relax. And you saw Coach when he called the timeout. Just do your job. That's all he was preaching to them.
If there's one negative, I think, for Kings, it's the penalties. 7 penalties, 69 yards. And it cost them at the end of the half a little bit. Wilkes just has 1 for 15 yards, so Kings needs to clean that up into this third quarter.
And again, first game, there's going to be those offsides and stuff, but they've been at key positions where it's really hurt them. And we saw right before half, Wilkes had a nice strike, but there was, offsetting penalties, but the hold brought them back, and that's how the half ended, with the Kings just running the ball out to get out of here at halftime and make it a 1-score game.
Well, ever since Mike Zabrowski talked to his King College team after that second touchdown from Wilkes where they went ahead, and he really challenged them, really said, this is about heart. They came out, drove down the field. Their defense then stepped up. The crowd got into it. So it's a little bit different feel here as we get set for this Lozado kick to begin the second half of the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup matchup.
Under the lights.
Now we are definitely under the lights. McCullough off his fingers from the 15. Good tackle on special teams. And he's taken down quickly, and here comes Xavier Powell. He's 6 of 10, 239 yards and 3 touchdowns. And here you see the
McCullough does a nice job with the return. And again, the pursuit there by the Monarchs on their kickoff team really pinned them in. Again, they've got a long way to go. Real long way to go here, folks.
Powell at one time was 6 for 6.
Yeah, he was
and
hot.
Now he's 0 for 4 in the last 4 passes. They needed to get Jules going as well. He only has 4 carries. And they'll hand it right off to Jules over that offensive line. He comes up forward for a minimal gain.
Again, RPO in there. Look, you just see them blocking. They let number 53 in there, or 93, excuse me. That's Terrell Stewart. They let him, they unblocked him. Again, and what that does is, with the RPO, they're putting that onus. Usually it's on the defensive end, but now they put it on that tackle.
Let's see if they go to more of a running attack against the inexperienced defensive front, who's played well. Powell's not been sacked yet. Fake to Jules. They get it to their landmark first-teamer, all first team, Jason Dean, his first catch of the night, the tight end out of Blue Mountain.
Again, it's another local kid doing really well here at Division III football. Look at that. Just big guy, 6'1", 210-pound target.
They come up quickly. They get it back out to the far side. That's another local product out of East Stroudsburg. Grover pulls forward, and he's going to move the chains. About 12-yard gain.
This is what the Colonels wanted to do, come out, dictate a great offensive series, and they're doing that. They're moving the sticks. Defensively, I mean, the Kings is playing really solid. They're playing a cover 3 right now. Oh,
Jules knocked down. That's big number 93 against Stewart, shooting in there from the nose tackle.
Boy, he's 5'9", 255. You want to talk about a fire plug in there, and boy, does he bring it.
Just 13 tackles last year, total 2.5 and a sack, but he's going to have to play a big role for the Monarchs this season if they are going to have success on the defensive side. Second and long now. The fake. Here comes the rush. They get it over to Dean, but the Monarchs defense holds. Rito, the senior, read that. And about a 3-yard gain, third and long now, and we have a stoppage. Injured player in there for Kings.
I think that's number 8, but again, nice job, a quick play. What Kings is doing now, they're starting to do a little bit of stunning up front. That's number 8 that is down. Or is it?
Don't guess.
I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to say anything.
It's rough to see the jerseys when he's sitting there, especially with some of the number changes.
All right,
that
he's
have
up
happened.
on his own. Good. Yes, it was 0. Okay.
Yep, that is Sean Levine out of Tamaqua. And there's what the Kings, what Wilkes did last year in the first year in the Landmark Conference. Of course, they lost the first 4 games, but then they won their last, 5 of 6, 5 of 7?
7, yeah. And again, Coach said that losing the Kings, they really took them all the way to St. John's. That's when the team started to believe they could play football again. And St. John Fisher's is a very good school up there in New York, up on the river.
Opportunity for Kings. Over the middle, it's intercepted. It is in and out of the hands of Rito and into the hands.
Number 13.
Oh, that's Gleason. Trevor Gleason, the sophomore out of Virginia.
Nice job in there in secondary. Bob, I was going to say start.
But we have a flag, and I think this one might not count. Let's not call it interception quite yet, because the defense is being called back out onto the field. Here's the call. Roughing the passer. Roughing the passer on Kings negates the interception. I didn't see who.
I didn't see it either, but
on the play,
there we go.
92 got his hands to the face. That is Shamir Thompson-Dean, a first-year player who looks like he's going to be called for a roughing the passer.
Wow.
And another penalty hurts Kings, and it moves the ball to the Monarch 39.
That's a huge play. Bob, I was going to say at halftime, there was only one fumble and it wasn't lost. And the thing was, there has been no turnovers.
Which is surprising in an opening type game. So new life to Wilkes. Jules shoots through. He makes a move. He's going to be tough to catch. And they convert a 39-yard run for Elijah Jules.
Well, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. 6'2", 310-pounder, number 77, Mauro Garino, did a beautiful job with the pull on this. Yeah, look at that. Boom! He just sealed it down, and great vision by the running back there, Jewell, to get back. And that's why I said earlier, pregame, he was our spotlight player. He's explosive if he gets out in the open.
He is explosive, and after that roughing the penalty call on Kings, there was new life for the Colonels, and they convert. Valpone in for the PAT, and Wilkes on the opening drive of the third quarter extends their lead. 36-21 the score.
Look at that running. Great job by Elijah Jules. Good burst, good speed, good ball security. Gets that in there.
Eight penalties tonight on Kings. The last one really cost them as Elijah Jules took a 39-yard scamper to the end zone, and Wilkes completes the third quarter opening drive. They go 7 plays and 80 yards, Coach, in just under 3 minutes.
Well, I'm sure that's how Coach Beavers, he drew it up at halftime like that, right, folks? No, that was just tremendous play by the offense. And right before half, number 77 got called for holding, which brought a 82-yard touchdown back for the Colonels. But he did a tremendous job on that block and that kick out, and then allowed and sprung, Elijah Jules for that big touchdown.
So Jules gets his first touchdown of the season and of this game. Last year he had 4 touchdowns overall in his year. As they bring out the special teams play.
Tony Brinson on the return, and we've seen him.
Yep. Here's what Kings did last year after their big win. I mean, up till Delaware Valley, they were very impressive. I think the one game maybe they want to take back will be the loss to Widener.
Well, the two teams that were always the teams to beat were Del Val and Widener, because they always had just these great, phenomenal skill kids that, that were getting in, and you just couldn't compete with them.
There you saw Kings lost in the MAC Centennial Bowl to F&M 30-7. So Russell Minor Shaw back out, 14 of 17, 134 and 2 touchdowns. Back to work. Gets it back out to Schreiner. And Schreiner a gain of about 6.
What I like seeing on that was E.J. Schreiner got that ball, and he spins to his outside. And why I'm saying that is because most receivers are taught to do that because you want to get to the outside because there's not going to be anybody pursuing you, like a linebacker or a strong safety ready to take your head off.
Javier Johnson, a sophomore out of Easton, makes the tackle for the Colonels. How big a drive is this for Kings right now?
They need to respond big time, and they've shown us that they can. And there's no panic right now. They're just playing their game.
Shooting through, Brennan Robinson comes up, his 8th carry of the game.
And this is keeping the Colonels honest right now with run, pass, run, pass. Now they did pass, now they go back to the run, and he's getting good yardage on it. So the offensive line's doing a nice job. You see all 67, 65 downfield with their blocks, sustaining the drives.
Devon James, a senior out of Boiling Springs, makes the tackles. It's 3rd and short now. Six guys in the box for Wilkes. Shaw pulls it down, and he shoots through, has a first down and more inside Colonel's territory, and finally taken down up past the 45 to about the 44. Nice run, Russell Minor Shaw.
225 pounds coming at you. Good job with the fake on the RPO. You saw Robinson snap the shoulders like he had the ball, freezes that linebacker, and that allows Shaw to get up in there and gain that yardage.
4th play of this drive. See if they can get some consistent play and not get a penalty. Inside, trying to find the hole was King's College running back, 23, Jayon Haley out of Penwood, just a junior.
It's gotten a little quiet on the home side here. But remember last year, folks, Kings was down, and they came back in the last 2 minutes of the game to win it. So this game is not over by any means. And right now, the Monarchs are they're stringing together a real nice drive.
There you saw Coach Zabrowski's first season was defensive coordinator. He's been at Kings for 14 years. He's out of Lee-Heighton. And this time Robinson comes in off the right side. He's pushed back. 3rd and short now for the Monarchs.
You see all your offensive linemen down there helping that running back up. Look at the job that they're doing down there. They're at the 2nd and 3rd level, the offensive linemen. That's a really nice, productive thing to see in terms of being an offensive line coach.
Steele Hess, the senior, out of Whitehall in there. 165 career total tackles for the product out of Whitehall. No blitz. Give it out to a very quick Haley, and Haley turns the corner right at the line to gain.
There you go. Speed sweep there, baby. There you go. Nice job with the pursuit. Robbie Barberi stepping up with the first contact, forcing them to the out of bounds.
4th and inches now, and obviously Kings will go for this inside Wilkes territory. Couple options here. You hand it off, or Shaw keeps it. Trying to draw them off. Wilkes defense is right there. Let's see. It's going to depend on the mark. Shaw kept it. If he kept it, I think he might have had the first down. Instead, he handed the ball off to Haley.
And Kellen Redmond, number 5, 6'1", 250-pound senior. But watch this, folks. Look at that. Right there, number 4.
Ramos.
Angel Ramos. What a great jump in there to really force that in there.
And it is a turnover on downs, and the Wilkes defense holds on 4th and inches. So the offense got a touchdown. Now the defense gives the ball right back to this offense that already has 342 total yards on 27 plays. They come back out with a 15-point lead. Now it's going to be up to this Kings defense to hold them. Fake the jet sweep. Powell keeps it. And the big 225-pound quarterback moves forward for exactly 10 yards. Move the chains, first down.
And number 77, folks, backing your screen. Look at him pulling in there. Watch this. Boom. He missed, but again, he's such a big body in there. That allowed Powell to tuck up inside of him and get that key first down.
Going to get a play from the sidelines. Again, new offense coordinator is in there for Wilkes, Matt Rogers. Fake it. They're going to go deep. And unlike the first half, the defense for Kings holds. And they couldn't get past the secondary. Good job by Amir Gibson out of Whitehall to contain, I believe, Johnny Johnson out there.
Real nice job there secondary-wise by the Monarchs, not letting anybody get past them this time. There was a lot of pressure up there on Powell, Good job by the defensive line. Like I said, they're doing some stunning up there. They're doing some twist and some what we call a knee, where the nose goes out, the end comes in. Trying to confuse that offensive line.
Here's the jet sweep. Kings is right there on the defensive stop. Justin Moore couldn't find any room to go move in. Trayvon Gleason from Virginia, one of the guys on the stop, 3rd and long.
Great job coming up. Look at the pursuit by number 5 in there also. Again, a lot of red jerseys in there. We always talk about that. And I know the defensive coordinators here say, I want to see how many red jerseys are in the picture at the end of the play, because that's where it really counts.
Well, after those big, long passes in the first quarter, Kings secondary playing much, much better.
Kings went to the 3-man front right now.
Powell back. Powell surveying. Really looking left. Tries to squeeze it in on the left side. It's caught. And let's see if the rule is inbounds or out of bounds. The officials call it out of bounds, incomplete. And here comes the punt team.
That was a great effort. Watch this play right here. He had plenty of time to throw. Beautifully thrown ball. Watch this. Great job with the slow down. Thank you, guys. Beautiful.
Couldn't tell if that was...
He didn't have control of the ball. I mean, he had the one arm, but he lost it on the way down.
Trying to hit Zane Grover out of East Stroudsburg on that side. He was looking that way the whole time. So Orlando in to punt. So a good defensive stand by Kings. Almost blocked. High kick into the night sky. Fair catch by Michael DiGregorio from Old Forge at the 14. So a little bit of chill in the air. It's fall-like temperatures here at McCarthy Stadium. The lights taking over for the first time ever in this Mayor Cup Series.
Look at that. I mean, we have a beautiful crowd here tonight, all the way wrapped around the stadium. I mean, the Wilkes side's pretty much filled. The King stands, which is much bigger, is filled. It's really a great atmosphere for Wilkes-Barre.
And Wilkes leads the Mayor Cup Series 25-13. They played a little bit longer than that. But remember, Kings had football in the 50s, and then they brought it back in the 90s with Rich Manello, who you coached with.
Yes.
As Russell Minor-Shaw keeps it, shoots through, makes a nice move, and he's going to be about 1.5 yards short, maybe 2 yards. Good. So you coach with Manello and Sheptok.
Mm-hmm.
Who's more intense?
I'm going to say who's more intense was Sheptok. Coach Manello had a little bit different demeanor about him. Offensively, offensive line, forget it. Hands down, he is the most intense offensive line coach and the best in the area. But Coach Sheptok was he kept everybody on their game, on point.
And when they started playing this game, what was it like for both coaches? I know both coaches were very good friends, and boy, a couple of guys, the flag comes in, 2 flags come in. Am I going to say who's this on? Is it a defensive foul easily?
Yes. That's going to be pass interference. Great job there by, again, the secondary, and just a matter of getting tripped up is what this is going to come down to.
Yeah, Brinson
so you see it right. Yeah,
been a favorite target tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Wait.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've seen that on a great replay. I'm wondering if they're.
I don't know if it's on the offensive player. They're coming back, folks. This may go against Kings, and if this happens, this crowd's going to erupt. Already 8 penalties for 84 yards for the Monarchs. Just 1 for Wilkes here tonight. This will really fire Coach Zabrowski up.
Pass interference on the defense, number 8.
Okay.
15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Okay. Here it is again.
A different angle, folks, so let's see this.
Donnell Mackey out of Woodson, the senior, number 8. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, throwing an elbow, but
folks at home, you make the call. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because right here, the call is against Kings. We're going to go with that.
But Bob, as you mentioned,
incidental contact.
Yes.
I think.
As you mentioned, what was it like? Rich and Frank are very good friends, and they would help each other during the season. And it was the 1 week they would not talk to each other because it meant everything to both programs and to the city of Wilkes-Barre, which team was going to win.
Yeah, of course, Rich Manello they did the game here, and then he retired right at the end of the game.
Yes. He did, and it was very emotional for him and the staff and the players as well. Anytime that a coach leaves, it's always tough. Here we go.
James with the tackle.
With the counterplay, you see big number 65. That's the center pulling. That's Damian Grulon, 6'3", 295-pound sophomore, getting some playing time in there, especially pulling as a center, which you don't see too often.
Kellen Redmond from the backside on defensive end. They lose some yardage. They get a quick hitter over to Di Gregorio. Minimal gain. They're just going to give him 2 yards. So 3 yards and 3rd and long now facing this Kings team.
Nice job there. Just he's looking, and then boom. Remember I said earlier about going to the outside? If you notice, he came back inside that time into a blanket of white jerseys.
We have players shaken up, I believe. They ran back out and ran back in. Now both teams setting up for 3rd down. Didn't see a timeout signal, did you?
No, I did not. That's why and we didn't call a TV timeout.
No, I don't. No, we didn't stop the game. So it will be 3rd and long now. Facing the Monarchs. And tonight they are 2 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. A big one here. Because the only scorer of the half so far is Wilkes on their opening drive, Elijah Jules. That's where we stand, a 15-point difference. Here comes a rush. Shaw finds room, makes one move, has a first down and more, and then gets walloped right at the 50. Donnell Mackey laid the wood on Shaw, but they move the chains, and Shaw bounces right back up.
That was a tremendous job by the safety coming up on a big guy like that. Nice job. Good call by Powell. Uses his feet. And again, you see how he went low on that. Number 8 went low, put the shoulder right into his legs, took his legs out.
Back over to Haley. Haley with a nice little move, 3-yard gain.
We're seeing some really, really stout defense from both sides right now. Number 13, Rob Barberi. Boom! Look at that. Great form tackle.
Out of Pittston, 32 total tackles last year. Got some great playing time as a first-year player. Wilkes showing blitz. They back off. Shaw has a receiver. Nice catch out there by Brinson, and the sophomore moves the chains, and a gain of about 13.
Watch what Brinson does here, folks. How he, after he catches the ball, watch how he jumps out of the way like right here. Whoop! That's great footwork. Wow, a lot of confidence in that young man.
Desso didn't know what to do. He ran right by him. Nice drive now for the Monarchs to counter Wilkes. Want to cut into this lead. Shaw going to keep it. Wilkes kind of reads that as Steele Hess on the bottom tripped him up. And a couple other white jerseys in there.
And Talon Murray, 0 in there helping out. I mean, I like what Kings is doing. They're mixing it up right now. Run, pass. And that's keeping the Colonels honest that they really can't dial up a blitz saying, hey, tendency is this. So now 2nd and 10. If you're the defense coordinator, okay, let's just maybe we'll do a twist up front, something different up front, but not really send the house.
10 total tackles tonight for Murray. All 10 of those are an assist. Barberi has 9. Shaw fakes it and finally gets to McCombs. McCombs stays on his feet and is ridden out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and long now coming up again for Kings.
Ryan McCombs, 6'3", 225-pound. Really big target in there. Nice job by Shaw on this. Watch this. He's got pressure in his face. And, again, he just still gets a nice completion in there. And you see right there how McCombs dips his shoulders in there and is trying to give the hit, not receive it.
23 sacks last year for this Wilkes team. And tonight they've only gotten to Russell Minor Shaw once. So good job by the offensive line. And I think he's getting rid of the ball quick, too. Because the 4-man rush again. He's got a lot of time in the pocket. finds his receiver, DiGregorio, coming across. And it's going to depend on the spot, and it's going to be a gain of 8. He needed 7. Move the chains. Kings continues the drive.
DiGregorio, watch, he just drags across. Look how much time that Shaw had to make that pass. Nice job by DiGregorio, just sprinting and getting separation from the linebacker, and then getting key first down. Keep the drive alive. Kings' defense just stopped the Colonels right now, forced them to punt, and they're doing a real nice job with this drive.
11th play of this drive now. Coming up on 30 seconds left in the quarter. And it's Brinson making the moves. Brinson puts his head down, goes north to south, and move the chains again. Another first down. That's the 18th of the game for the Monarchs, and it's 1st and goal, Kings.
Brinson, he's 5'8", 160 pounds, but watch, little jump pass right there. Watch this, boom, boom. He's got like brakes. He's going to have to change his cleats after this game.
Yak yards for Brinson.
Yes.
A lot of yards after catch, and that will do it. Well, last year it was Kings that came back and beat Wilkes in the 4th quarter. We are headed to quarter number 4 in the 28th annual Dream Game, and Wilkes owns a 15-point lead. We are back in the 28th annual Mayor's Cup game underneath the lights in Wilkes-Barre Township. And it's the Colonels over the Monarchs by 15, 36-21. And after over 500 yards of offense was put up in that first half, things have kind of slowed down a little bit, Jan Cechak. Just one score in that 3rd quarter, but Kings trying to get back in it now. 1st and goal from the 8.
And they've done a great job with this drive, sustaining it. First downs, now they're in the red zone. They, again, Bob, reminiscent of last year, they're just not quitting. They keep coming out and fighting.
Shaw picked off. Tried a little fade pattern out there, trying to get it to Schreiner. Instead, a great play by Donnell Mackey-Woodson. He had 2 interceptions a year ago. His first of the season is a big one in the end zone.
And this is the first turnover of the game. That's what concerned Coach. That was his key to the game. We got to control the turnovers, and that's one that he was talking about right there. And that just stifles that drive that they had, that Kings had going.
11-play drive goes for naught. And Wilkes takes over at their 20-yard line on the interception by Woodson. What was that play going to be? Should he have thrown it better? Shouldn't he have thrown it all? What do you think?
He floated that ball in there, which I was surprised at, because when you're in the end zone, you want to throw darts in there. Yeah. You don't want to be floating that up there, and then he paid the price for that.
So Shaw will watch that, I'm sure, on video this week and learn from it. Back to Xavier Powell. Powell off the right side, still on his feet, pushing his way for 8 yards, and a host of Monarchs there to make the stop. And Powell, in his first start in a couple years, has done a fantastic job for the Colonels tonight.
He's making it look like he's been playing quarterback for the last 2 years. I mean, I thought he'd be a little rusty and hesitant, but his decision-making has been crisp. His passes are even crisper in there. And you saw right there that big offensive line. You know, they averaged 295 pounds there. Luke Baker, 295-pounder left guard, was his pulling guard. That was leading the way for him on that. Xavier Powell keep.
Rito leads Kings tonight with 6 total tackles, along with Stewart and Camara. They all have 6 total tackles on the night. For the Monarchs, who the defense needs to come up big. Jules is there, and there it'll start right there for Kings. Nice stop in the middle.
Wow. Watch the hitting that's still occurring in this game. You tell me, like we were talking earlier, watch this. 1, 2, 3 guys coming in, taking care of business for the Monarchs right there at the defensive line. Actually dropped them for a short loss, 1-yard loss.
Second and long now facing Powell.
The Colonels in no rush to try to force anything. They're just going to take control.
Powell going to go deep again, but no one can get by the secondary again as he is intended it for Grover. Also out there was number 8, Higgins, and the Monarchs secondary has done a real nice job since that first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, the adjustments that the defensive coordinator and the secondary coach have done a nice job locking down those outside receivers, not allowing them to get by them now.
Powell, just 3 of his last 9 completions. Remember, he started the game 6 for 6. He has 264 yards through the air in those 3 touchdowns, all in that first half. Things have definitely looked a little bit different here in the second half. A little more defensive oriented. Trying to set up a middle screen. They do it to Jules. Jules from behind. They make the tackle, and Wilkes will be forced to punt. Nice job by the Monarch defense as Levine makes the tackle.
Yeah, but I want you to watch their pursuit here of number 93, the nose tackle, Terrell Stewart. Look at him in your frame right there, folks. And he's the one that came in and drug him down from behind. I mean, that's great effort.
Absolutely.
As an old defensive line coach, you know, you tell your kids, you know, when you're not being blocked, you got to throttle down, stop, turn, and burn. And he just did that. That's a great example of that.
So I'm going to say, after this punt, Kings has them right where they want them, especially what happened last year. But good. Another year, different game. Can't get that one away. Orlando drives this one real deep. DiGregorio all the way back to his 10. Shoots up through, knocked down after the 15, and here comes the offense, and here we go down to Jake Sarwar. Back on the sidelines. Hey, Jake?
Hey, guys, that's right. I'm here with John from Wilkes, you're the director of wrestling there. John, first and foremost, talk to me. Big news coming out of Wilkes in the wrestling program this year. What do you want to tell everybody?
Well, we're starting women. You know, we've got a great passion, pride, right? We got a lot of things going on with wrestling, just in general, right? A long history, great men's program. It's time to bring the brand to women, right? And I think it's just an exciting time. We've missed out on, I don't say we missed out on the opportunity, but now we're able to give the opportunity to women. And we've had a young lady wrestle for our men's team, and now it's time that our women can wrestle other women. So starting next year, NCAA tournament, first one next year, so we're excited about it.
Absolutely, and you said you've had a woman already wrestling for your men's team. Talk to me about what that means, you know, for her and also the local community to really recognize that women should be included in a sport like wrestling.
Yeah, well, it's such a growing sport, right? I mean, I go anywhere. It's not how you doing, coach. It's when he's starting women's wrestling, coach. You know, so it gives them the opportunity now, and I think it's really growing. It's popping, right? It's the fastest growing women's sport in the country. You know, so it's just something exciting. It's exciting to bring that to our men's team. You know, I know our guys are excited about it too. I mean, our best kid, Cam Bucka, ranked number 1 in the country to start the year this year. He's like, Coach, I'm going to miss this by a year because they're going to start till next year, so we're excited.
Well, like you're saying, you know, the program officially starts next year, so really, you know, besides your team right now, you're going to be in recruitment season very soon, right? Talk to me about that process of finding high schools around the country that really, you know, have these programs already, or is it club sports? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it is a lot of club stuff right now. You know, high school season hasn't started yet. You know, we're just getting the name out, right? We're trying to get hey, we have Wilkes Wrestling, we got a long tradition. But people have to understand now we offer it to women, you know, so it's still the same wrestling network, you know, but it's just identifying the women that are interested. We got some great majors though, right? Pharmacy, nursing, a lot of the health sciences, you know, so it's not going to be hard to capture of an audience and get the girls on campus, which we've already started. So we've had a couple young ladies already on campus. So
Sure. And John, we were talking earlier. I mean, you have your bachelor's and also your master's from Wilkes. What does it mean to you as an alum to be able to A, give back as the director of wrestling, but B, bring in such a great change that you're really changing the culture of sports at Wilkes?
Yeah, well, it's something I feel I take a lot of responsibility. Kind of the gatekeeper for our program, right? It's we want to be great at both, right? We want to continue to offer a great men's program and now offer this to the women in the same capacity. So it's something I'm excited for. I had daughters that probably would have wrestled if it was this big, right? So we're excited to get it started next year, and can't come fast enough. You know what I mean? So
sure. Well, John, thank you so much. Best of luck, guys. Back up to you in the booth.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, remember, started wrestling last year as a PIAA sport, and there was a huge success at Hershey. And I know a lot of girls' programs in a state filled with wrestling pride, like Pennsylvania, would love to wrestle in college at Wilkes University. So a 3 and out for Kings. Coach Zabrowski said, I'm not going to go for it on 4th and 1, not at this point in the game. And now the defense will have to step up for Kings to keep it a 15-point contest. Just one touchdown after 50 points in the first half.
Maybe they're a little tired.
7.
It's first game of the year.
Yeah.
We'll see how they're conditioned.
Just 7 in that third quarter. But 10:40 left in the game. Plenty of time. Both teams have 3 timeouts, so that's not an issue. 361 total yards for Wilkes. 374 on 57 plays for Kings.
Well, it was a good defensive stance by the Colonels right there. But that last play, right, the third down play, Michael Golay did a great job from his defensive end position, almost like stripped the ball. But the way he fell, it looked like he injured his shoulder. And he's a local guy, too, from Scranton Prep. So we hope he's okay.
So the offense back out with Powell. 10 of 17 on the night, 269 through the air. He also has run for 48 yards. That's an average of 6. He has accounted for 4 touchdowns for Wilkes, and he'll carry right here. Gets a block, comes back to the other side. Still on his feet, kind of rumbling and bubbling his way for 9 yards the hard way for the quarterback.
Well, they were pulling left guard, 72. You'll see him go across. That's where the play was designed to go. And then number 80, Jason Dean, the tight end, trying to pinch it in. But look at how nimble he is. And he can stop, cut, and juke and duke and keep it going.
He's as big as a fullback. I mean, he really is. Out of Poughkeepsie, New York, Arlington High School. Played in 9 games in 2023. Overall, on his career, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. As Jules now shoots up through, move the chains. They're inside Monarch territory again. Are Wilkes. They're going to be down at the 40-yard line.
That was a nice run by Jules. Again, you see a helmet come off. That means you have to come out for a play. That was number 1 linebacker, Jake Rupert. Nice job in there. Look at that. Great job. You saw that the tackle, number 77, Mauro Garino, I said his name a few times now, he influence blocked, allowed the nose tackle to come upfield, and Jules just did a nice job going on the opposite side.
Well, with the clock rolling, Wilkes in no hurry to get this play in, run the clock off. In fact, Powell, if he's smart, should run it down inside 5 seconds to waste more time. They have a 15-point lead. No real urgency. It's at 10. He's still waiting. Fake to Jules and quarterback keeper. But the defense reads that. Oz comes in and Stewart makes the tackle. 1 yard.
Osman Kamara, nice job squeezing down. You saw him. He just squeezed on number 77, the pulling right guard, and then he bounced off and made the tackle.
And this game got off to a fast start. 14-14 at one point, midway through the first quarter. And then Wilkes surged ahead a little bit. Kings has had their opportunities.
They have, but they've, and Bob, you mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, penalties have hurt the Monarchs.
They have really a lot. Now the defense needs to step up. Jules shoots through, so it's going to be 3rd and manageable now for Wilkes. Tonight they are 2 of 6 on 3rd down.
See this RPO right there? You saw the defensive end, 13. He was going after, he was going after the quarterback. And again, great read by Powell to give the ball off.
Great block by Jason Dean out of Blue Mountain, too, to spring Jules.
Yes.
So now they're going to go to this running game with Jules, who was a first-team Landmark player a year ago with 819 total yards. Does have a touchdown tonight. Jules now the leading carrier, 10 carries for 61 yards. And they're going to give it to Powell, the second leading rusher, and he's going to shoot through. That's another first down, and 3 more plays coming up for Wilkes, and we have an injured player for Kings.
Nice job by Powell, picking and weaving, cuts back to the opposite side. You see big number 99 right there, Osman Camaro, otherwise known as Ooze for the Monarchs.
We're going to ooze into the schedule now for the Monarchs Kings. Next week they'll have Misericordia, as I said right here, then Alvernia. They have that bye. And then it's right into MAC play. Of course, the game you have circled next would be that November 2nd game against Delaware Valley.
Yes. Again, another crosstown rivalry, Misericordia. So you don't have to really prepare a big bus ride for that. Alvernia outside of Philadelphia. Widener's always going to be tough. And that's, by that time, if they have some injuries, they got that bye week scheduled in perfectly.
And they'll have Delaware Valley here at McCarthy Stadium November 2nd. Again, 8-3 they finished last year, the Kings. Lost in the bowl game. So back out. Clock rolls after the injury. Let's see how long Powell holds this, because there's 30 seconds and less now on the play clock, and they're just going to wait. How tough is that for an offensive lineman now?
Well, we talk about getting in your stance, but you don't really practice for 30 seconds like that. So they're going to be a little bit tight. And, again, they're going to have to do some stretching, get the rollers out, and get a nice massage going.
There you go, 5 on the play clock. And here comes the snap, I'm sure. Right to Powell. Powell ducks it outside. Has the speed, cuts in, and makes a nice, powerful move. And they're going to go up for 12 yards for Elijah Powell, who's really gaining momentum here in this fourth quarter to put this one away.
Well, you saw the offensive line, to answer your question, Bob, that I guess they're used to staying down in 30 seconds. And no cramping. They did a nice job, and Powell's taking great control of this offense. And, Bob, we've said this, they're in no hurry whatsoever. Nope. They're going to grind out as much of the clock as they can.
And I think we have a injured player.
Yep, that is 0. That is Sean Levine from Tamaqua down on the ground.
So Levine is injured.
And he's getting right back up right now. Good to see that. All right, good job.
Hope he's okay. Levine changed his number. He was 30, but again, they gave out some single digits, did Coach Zabrowski yesterday. And why does he do that again? He does it like the tough, like
the guys that have committed the most. They've been leaders. He takes into account the grade point average that these young men have to have, obviously, to maintain. But again, the higher they are, the more they work in the weight room. All that gets attributed to why you would award a number, especially 0, to a player.
Yep. Well said, Coach. You have to earn your number. So clock is rolling. Under 6:30 to play in this game. 15-point game for Wilkes. It was 7 at the half. 8, at the half. Forget that 2-point conversion. But Jules has the only score in this second half.
Well, right there you saw the offensive line. They went down, then they got up. Now they're back down.
So Wilkes won 2 years ago, 59-42 in a wild one. And we're thinking that was going to go here tonight. But slowed down a little bit. Jules, nowhere to go. Good defense. That's Gleason again, the sophomore.
Yep, Jared Rito on there. Also from Bangor coming in here, doing a nice job for the Monarchs on the defense. Jules got kind of lost up in there again, but nice play right there. He was getting blocked, number 5. That, like I said, Rito was getting blocked, did a nice job, maintaining his outside arm and just squeezed that down and made the tackle.
Four on the play clock. Powell keeps it, cuts back to the middle of the field. But Rupert right there, the senior out of Malvern, stops him. 3rd and long now coming up. So the best you do for Kings is hold them to a field goal opportunity, right?
Yes. And then hopefully score.
Yeah,
onside kick,
yeah.
Get the ball back, and score again.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on, but it has to start somewhere.
Yes.
Right now it's going to start on the defensive side as they're just going to roll this clock continually down.
See Coach Beavers right there on the sideline for the Colonels. You know, he knows what's going on, and I'm wondering, you know, how much more is he going to have his quarterback keep getting these extra hits, especially this late in the game?
Timeout called down on the field by Wilkes. They want to talk things over, trying to run out this clock. 4:18 left in this game. So let's go down to Jake with one last interview. Jake?
Yeah, guys, I'm joined by Jan Kretschmar, the Director of Exercise Science at King's College. Jan, first and foremost, we were just talking about this. Talk to me a little bit about the game itself. I mean, there's a lot that's going on here. It's kind of coming down as a nail-biter, right?
Yes, definitely. Back and forth in the first half. Now it looks like Wilkes might be running away with this one.
Yeah. So earlier we were mentioning, you know, you have a new program that you guys are starting up this year, a new master's. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we're starting a new master's program in performance and sports science. It's a online program. We're accepting applications for the fall of 2025, and it's going to gear towards the new National Strength and Conditioning Association certification that is for sports and performance science.
And you also have the accreditation for strength and conditioning as well, right, for your undergraduate program?
Correct. We're one of only 18 programs in the U.S., one of 23 worldwide that have that accreditation for strength and conditioning.
Wow. So what sets, you were saying it's online, everything as well, but what really sets that master's program apart, or even, you know, the type of person that might think to themselves, you know, maybe that's something I do want to apply for and pursue?
Yeah, so sports and performance science really exists at the professional sports level. So it's, you know, an international type field, more so than just strength and conditioning, which is very well developed in the U.S. So we're trying to really build a faculty of international experts in sports science. So we're able to draw from people from Canada, Europe, professional sports teams there, and also allow our students then to build a professional network that is international and give them opportunities to work internationally with professional teams.
Awesome. Earlier, Dr. O'Brien was here, the Dean of Health Sciences at King's, and he was mentioning about a conference that's coming up. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we're doing a Health and Human Performance Conference October 4th, and we're inviting some of the international speakers that we have connections with. So we have Olympic medalists coming, we have national team coaches coming, so it's going to be a very international flavor and something, you know, very unique to a small conference like that.
Absolutely. And will the students at King's be eligible in the program, be eligible to attend?
Anybody can attend this event.
Oh,
Don't have to be a student at King's. It's open to anybody.
That's awesome. And what's the date of that?
It's October 4th and October 5th.
October 4th and 5th. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Jan, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Guys, back up to you in the booth.
Thank you, Jake, for all the interviews. I want to thank Wilkes and Kings for providing them. We always love their support and love doing this game. And there you saw the 9-play, 54-yard drive for Wilkes may have sealed this game. And we'll look at this touchdown again. And it's Powell, too.
Devin Higgins, number 8. Nice job with the play action, have him roll right. And again, look how he threaded that needle in there, right in between two red jerseys. And again, I just said prior, how many more hits are you going to have on him? None. He's done for the night. Look at that, right in there.
Nice pass for Xavier Powell, who won the job of the starting quarterback after Isaiah Rodriguez has left this program in the offseason. So things are looking well for Powell. Cooper King is his backup. He's also had a good camp. But Powell tonight, he is the leader of this team. 283 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, 11 of 18. And then on the ground, how about 65 more yards and a touchdown?
Wow. Good night for the Colonels so far. Right now, this game, I mean, it's all but over right now. I know we have our 2-minute timeout in 2 minutes and 3
5
seconds.
Yep.
So,
yeah, this deficit, I don't think Kings can overcome.
and again, good job on the pursuit. Nice job with the return. All right, you never say die. The game's not over until 0-0-0-0 on the clock. But again, this is just the beginning game for both these teams. It's a good stepping stone for Wilkes to keep that spark going. Got a little bit of revenge from last year. So, and now Kings just have to now go back to work like I know they will, just both teams will, and get ready for the next opponent.
Shaw out to Schreiner. And Schreiner had a nice game, as has done Shaw as well, has had a nice game.
Did a great job concentrating that two-handed catch, bringing it in and stepping out of bounds.
Again, similar play. This time gets it out to Schreiner again on a quick out, move the chains, and the clock stops.
And Javier Johnson, the 5'8 sophomore from Easton, nice coverage there. He was right there.
I apologize. The clock does not stop until under that 2-minute warning. New rule in college football last few years. And the 2-minute warning will be coming up in just over a minute. Shaw, time, flushed out. Has a lot of room. Picks up a couple blocks, gets a first down. He runs out of bounds. So they should stop the clock momentarily to move the chains. Now they're inside Colonel territory, trying to put something back up on the board. Cut into this deficit. Clock rolls.
Just trying to keep this game, manageable at this point and respectable for themselves. Keep working hard. That's what the coaches instill in the players. We fight to the very end, and we're not going to give up, and that's what they're doing right now.
Shaw steps up in the pocket, dumps it off to Haley. And Haley close to another first down. Murray there on the tackle. Going to be about a yard short. And a timeout called. And that's an injury timeout. So here's what Wilkes has coming up next week. Hey, they get right back on the horse, buddy. They're going to go to RPI, and that's a next Friday night game.
And then SUNY Brockport, St. John Fisher, like I said, they're up there on the St. Lawrence River at Juniata. So they're going to be getting some frequent mileage there, Lyco, Keystone, a close game for them. Susquehanna, the team, they probably have circled that they know if they do well against Susquehanna, they're going to be in good shape for the playoffs.
Well, they set the tone better than they did last year after they lost. They went on a 3-game losing streak, 0-4. They're going to open up this season 1-0, it looks like, and there is that 2-minute timeout. We'll head to the break. Looks like Wilkes will be taking back that Mayor's Trophy. They lead 43-21. It's got a little bit chillier. Some fans have exited the building, but so far on a beautiful night for some college football, Season opener for both teams in the 28th Annual Mayor's Cup. First time underneath the lights. Coach Zabrowski for Kings. Coach Beaver, first time as head coaches in this rivalry. Bob-eyed Jan Cechak, last 2 minutes of this game. Dramatic comeback a year ago. A lot would have to happen for that to take place here tonight. Wilkes really came in motivated, jumped out to a nice 15-point lead at one point in both halves.
Boy, Ramos putting pressure on Shaw right there. And again, all he could do is smartly throw it out of bounds. And this is a tough time, right, at the game. You know you're down. You know the outcome of the game you can't change. But, you know, you want to be respectable. You want to try to get another touchdown in there to make it seem like it was closer than it was. But hats off to the Colonels coming in here tonight, getting ready, and really doing a nice job offensively and defensively.
Talon Murray, 12 assists. He leads the way with Barberi. He has 12 total tackles on the night for the Colonels. Shaw can't be taken down. Still on his feet. Shoots it out to DiGregorio, who pulls it in and goes out of bounds. And we have a couple players behind the play, getting up very slowly.
Well, that was the pursuit. I mean, look at this. I don't know how wow. Great job there by Shaw, you know, keeping his balance. Again, Zero coming in, laying the wood on him on that one. That was Talon Murray, and they both got up a little slow at the end, but they're both up, and that's all that counts. No one's hurt.
Well, with the motions and the first game of the year, there'll be some sore players on both teams as they start their 2024 campaign. Shaw just going to survey out quickly to Haley. Haley spins out of one tackle, and it's going to be first and goal for Kings at the 6. 91 seconds left.
And that's what the coaches want to see. You saw Haley on this. What a great catch and burst. Like, again, Shaw's going through his progression, says check down right there. Watch, I mean, just great burst, good ball security, and he doesn't give up. That's going to be like, I'm not going to say a highlight, but that's what the coaches have emphasized to these young men. Keep working hard.
Last time Kings was first and goal at this position, Shaw threw an interception. A lot of time goes to the back of the end zone, and that's going to fall incomplete. Trying to hit McCombs back there.
He was trying to split the defenders, too, on that.
Yeah, I think he threw it out of bounds on purpose. There you see how much time left in this Mayor's Cup game. Well, the offensive firepower has been on display. 445 total yards for Kings tonight on 66 plays. Well, Wilkes, they've only run 44 plays, but they have 415 of their own. Fade pattern into the end zone. Caught. I believe that's DiGregorio. Nope, that's Schreiner. E.J. Schreiner pulls it in for his first touchdown reception of the season.
Nice job with that. Good patience by the offensive line quarterback. They gave him time. Look, just nice, beautifully placed ball. Gets him in the back corner of the end zone. Again, this is what the coaches want to see. They want to see what the kids, you're down, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond?
Hilferty, the PAT is up and through, and Kings cuts into this Wilkes lead right now, 43-28. The home team not giving up yet. 10 plays, 77 yards. They march right down the field. 43-28 is the score. As Russell Minor-Shaw finds Schreiner on a 6-yard catch, and that's where we stand right now. And here comes the hands team for both teams as they'll come out, and you expect an onside kick here, Jan.
Yes, you would, and you still have your timeouts left, so you have to. I mean, this is what you practice all year for. Bob, to your point about the amount of yards that Kings had prior to this drive, I don't know what the stats say right now, what their total yardage is, but when you go over 400 yards in a game and you lose, you kind of scratch your head and say, what did we do? What was the difference? And I think the big difference was that interception in the end zone.
Well, it was definitely key play,
yes.
plus the penalties.
Yes.
Plus 9 penalties for 99 yards. And when the penalties happen.
There's never a good time.
No, there's never a good time, but there were some on third down. So Losato's going to tee this one up, and there you see pretty much where this one's going. Our first onside kick of the year. High squibber, and it's knocked down and taken by Wilkes, and that should just about do it as the Colonels will have possession.
Number 7, that's Lance Priestess from Liberty High School, 6'1", 260-pound senior. And he was cradling that baby. He didn't want to let that go.
Now we have an injured Monarch player as both teams now have to get separated. As you expect in a game like this, high emotions. And I think that's the guy that caught the touchdown, Schreiner.
Yes.
Yeah, was shaken up on the onside kick play. And Coach Beaver pulls his team out of there, knowing he's going to pick up his first victory against his good friend, Mike Zabrowski.
And again, these two coaches will, this week they didn't talk. And Bob, you said they're good friends. They're going to continue to work together the rest of the season so that both schools can be successful. Being the closest rivalry in the country, there's no secrets. And again, they want each other's to be successful except for 1 week, and that happens to be week number 1.
So you may say, well, how much did Tyler Carey missing hurt Kings? I don't think they hurt at all, because I think the offense, when you put up 451 total yards, I mean, it's pretty good. Yes, he would have helped, and he's going to be missed this year. But Tony Brinson, a sophomore, number 83, has shown glimpses that he's going to be very good and very shifty.
That's a great adjective to use to describe him, shifty, and he's quick, too. I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, Tyler Carey will be missed. A senior, been around this program a long time. Liza Jules right up the middle. And Coach Zabrowski is going to call timeout with 57 ticks left.
Here's the replay. Again, Elijah Jules, we haven't seen a lot of him, but when we do see him running the ball, he's doing a great job, and that's why he was a first-teamer last year in the Landmark Division for the Colonels.
Well, we love doing college football, but let's face it, we also love doing high school football. And
yes.
Our F&R schedule will continue this Friday, next Friday, I guess you should say right now.
Yes.
We'll be up at Valley View. Boy, in Abington Heights with a big win last night over Dallas.
Yes.
Valley View with a comeback victory over Wilkes-Barre just down the block. So that's a Lackawanna Football Conference Division I matchup. Then we'll have Prep and Scranton. And then after that, we have did I forget? No.
I'm forgetting, too. I have to look at my phone.
Jan, good thing there's no test on this tonight. Honesdale Western Wayne, come on.
Oh, jeez.
You should know that.
Coach Russick, I apologize.
No, he's fine. His team lost last night to Wallen-Paulpack, which made John Gumble, one of our camera people, very happy.
Yeah, he was like all about Wallen-Paulpack. He said, we're canceling the Honesdale game. We're going to Wallen-Paulpack. Again, another great job by the best crew in the business, getting you guys the end zone shots, sideline shots, interviews. Great job to everybody.
Well, redemption is very sweet, and that's what Wilkes is doing right now. They lost that game last year, but give credit to Kings. They came right back, but they wanted to come over to this stadium on this field in front of the home crowd and say, we're taking back that Mayor's Cup. That's how important it is to them.
And one of the goals that both coaching staffs have every year at Kings and Wilkes is to win the Mayor's Cup. And again, it's about bragging rights in the city of Wilkes-Barre. And, these guys now, the Colonels will be like puffing their chests a little bit bigger, and the Kings guys will be like, okay, you got it this year. We'll get you guys next year.
Our players of the game are Xavier Powell, the starting quarterback, 283 total yards and 4 touchdowns through the air. He also had 65 yards right now on the ground and a touchdown. Elijah Jules also 14 carries, 84 yards. He also had a touchdown. Those are our players of the game. They'll also present, courtesy of the mayor and the Mayor's Cup, 2 players of the games, 1 from each team. But this one will go to the Colonels of Wilkes, who bring the bus across the Susquehanna River and take back the Mayor's Cup. They had it in their hands last year, and it slipped away. Tonight, it's going to go their way. The final score, Wilkes 43, Kings 28. In a game that featured almost 600 yards. Oh, wait, I take that back. 900 total yards. 900, that's right, 900 total yards of offense. But in the end, the Wilkes defense was able to hold Kings from scoring late in this game. So what a super performance by a lot of players. Russell Minor-Shaw, he finishes 28 of 35 for 255. He had 3 touchdowns. Haley had 74 total yards on the ground. Minor-Shaw was the second leading rusher. He had 70.
And this is going to send a message to the Landmark and the MAC conferences saying, hey, you know what? Those teams from Wilkes-Barre are pretty darn good. Look at the numbers they put up. Look at the different players that produce for them and how the defenses, even though they gave up a lot of points, how the defenses really stymied up. And when they had to be tough, they did.
Absolutely did. What a great atmosphere underneath the lights for the first time ever, and hopefully a tradition that will now continue throughout this Mayor's Cup presentation from both teams. It's a big event in this city, and it should be celebrated as so.
I'm sure right now Wilkes is going, yeah, let's play some more night games. This worked out well for us. Kings, on the other hand, might be going, but this was a great, great game tonight. Lots of fans, lots of fanfare. It was a beautiful event, and, now it's time for these ceremonial mayor to present his cup to the winning team.
And Jake Sarwar trying to rustle in a couple of players for our players of the game before they get the presentation. And, of course, one of them we need is the last guy in line, Elijah Jules. And, Jake, I know you're down there with 2 stars of the game. You have Xavier Powell, Elijah Jules, and, boy, without them tonight, I don't know if Wilkes would have won this one. I wonder what they have to say. Jake?
That's right. I'm here with Xavier right now. Xavier, senior year, quarterback, talk to me. What are you feeling right now knowing that you're bringing the Mayor's Cup back home?
I mean, it feels great, man. God is good. I've been dreaming about this moment for a while now, and it just feels good. We have a great new system. Coach Beebe, Coach Rogers, and Coach Mantell, they've changed this program around, and the sky's the limit from here.
Sure, and this is really just the start of the season. What's that momentum going forward as you start to go into your conference games?
Yeah, it feels great. This is one of the most important games of the year, so it's going to give us a lot of momentum to go forward in the year and hopefully have a great year this year.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, man. Elijah, come on over. Elijah Jules, how you doing? All right, tell me, how's it feel again? You won Mayor's Cup.
It feels amazing. It's a feeling your words can't describe. You practice so hard, especially with it being week 1. You know that a game like this is going to give you so much momentum carrying on to the rest of the season. So it just means the world to us to get this job done tonight.
And it's one of the first games in a long time that's been played under the lights. What did that change really for you guys? Did you feel any different pressure or anything different that it wasn't a 1 o'clock game, it was at 6 o'clock?
Well, yeah, the process just throughout the day is a little bit longer, but also, it felt like high school again, Friday Night Lights. It felt like like I was playing back under the lights. So I felt young again. It felt good to be out here under the lights, and everybody was excited to get this job done tonight.
And what are you excited about for the rest of this season here?
Right now, I'm just excited to continue with the offense. You know, the sky's the limit. We just keep going, and the offense you see we have is so explosive. So I'm just so excited to see what
and to raise up that trophy, right?
Yes, sir. That's the number one thing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Guys, what an incredible game. Back to you.
Absolutely, and Xavier Powell being awarded, of course, the player of the game for his Wilkes team. Kings on the other side, as Mayor George Brown is down on the field to present the Mayor's Cup trophy to Wilkes. And before we get to that, some final comments. Jan?
I'll tell you, Elijah Jules summed it up. It's so exciting, and this is what they want to do. It's the benchmark for the rest of the season. Kings will have to just get back to work and go back through the grind, and they're going to be successful this year.
They absolutely are going to be successful, and Kings got to get right back into it. They'll get Misericordia right here next Saturday night. So the trophy is going to go from Mayor George Brown to the Wilkes University Colonels. They retain the trophy, and they continue to lead the series in this Mayor's Cup. It is their 26th victory over Kings. Take it away, boys. You get the trophy, and you are the 2024 Mayor's Cup champions. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Jan Cechek, Jig Sarwar, this is Bob Ides.
The 28th Annual Mayor's Cup, sponsored by Wilkes University and King's College.